Anybody notice this? Yes, I love kitties. Big old kitties.
What's up, you big old bitches? I have a question, actually. How you got a little check mark in chat?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah. Well, I already got one, damn it. But I'm saying, like, how did you get one? Because I noticed you were like 12 or 11,000 subs from 100K, and I was like, oh, damn, you're closing in. And then I noticed you have a damn check mark. What the hell? What's even the point now?
I know people, and I have redhead privileges.
It's the trade-off for having no soul.
Right. I literally traded my soul for the check mark.
I would do the same thing. Oh my gosh. So welcome everybody to the show. Hopefully Chrissy doesn't leave 5 minutes in like Ashton did last show.
What?
Yeah, we had a
What happened?
No, look, it's a conspiracy. It's all a giant conspiracy. We were talking about Russell Brand. Okay.
Is it our internet again?
What? That's weird. Oh, so anyways, no, so we were talking about...
I know I put that in quotes. It could have been a legitimate thing.
That's pretty funny. No, so we were talking about Russell Brand, and she was like, there's police reports that Russell Brand was doing all this shit and blah, blah, blah. And they covered it up. And I was like, there's police reports. What? Holy shit. Like, that's a pretty big deal. I didn't know about that yet. And I like Googled it, couldn't find it. And I was like, wait, where's these police reports? Can you find them for me? Because I can't find them. And she was like, oh, well, maybe there's not none. And I maybe have got bad information. And I started responding to it. And then she just left.
Maybe she's having a believe all women moment. I love Ashton, though.
Same. And she's funny. She's so silly. And then she's like messaging me like, everybody hates me. And I'm like, no, you fucker. It's fine. Don't worry. No one hates you. Only I do. And that's fine. I don't matter. You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
She's sweet. Ashton is so funny, like unintentionally. She just has to not apologize, like ever. Don't apologize to anyone for anything, any post, any opinion. Yeah, that's my overall advice for everyone.
Yeah, that's it. And we were talking before the show, speaking of apologizing. So I got banned off Twitter, and you were asking before the show, how did I get banned on Twitter? And it's pretty short story, really. So like I said, I was saying the F slur a lot because it was kind of funny. I'm trying to bring it back because I feel like I had a big part in bringing retard back. And I was like, okay.
You single-handedly brought retard back?
I think I was the reason retard's back now.
I think retard was always around from the 90s, early aughts, and some of us just never stopped saying it.
Yes. And I would say it sometimes. And I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm tired of like stepping on eggshells. So I just started saying it all the time. It was great. So I started doing that. And then you know, I started saying it on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, cool, it's great. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the same thing with the F slur. And about a month later, I got banned, and I was like, I was 100% expecting to click on the notification. It was gonna show the tweet in question, and it was just gonna be like F slur 100%. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, maybe it was against TOS. I don't know, but I said it, whatever. And I shit you not, it had nothing to do with anything. So I got in this stupid little scuff with a furry over one post that was stupid. Like it was
a scuff with a furry. Is that like a sex position? Is that like part of their lingo?
Basically, which is the scary part about this whole situation is the sexual aspect of it. But anyways, so I tweeted at this furry, and this furry was basically saying, you know, trans rights are human rights, which is fine.
It's adorable.
You know, it's great. It's a great thing to say. So all I said was and by the way, they put up flyers all over their campus, and they said trans rights are human rights. But they put their little furry character on the flyer next to trans rights or human rights. So it's just like this furry in a bikini, like with their tongue hanging out, like they always do, like a little dog or dragon or some shit.
Classic.
And all I said, I commented on it, and I was like, it would be a little bit like more meaningful without your gay ass furry character beside the trans rights. Because what does this have to do with both things? It's like you always have to insert your fucking stupid fursona into everything you say.
Persona.
That's what they call it. Yeah. So And then they responded to me. They were all angry, and I didn't really respond to it. And one of their followers got mad at me and started arguing with somebody in my replies. And I got banned for a tweet because the same person came to my entire feed and tried to find something to get me banned over. And this was the thing. They added Twitter support in this tweet right here. This is the tweet. So it says, just letting you know that if you break into my home, I will indeed grape you.
So for our
yes. So
boot.
I was very, very surprised because I saw this guy tweet a very similar thing.
First of all, you're saying if.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
and also,
that's not threatening, inciting.
Yes, and it's also not. I'm threatening, if anything, a potential intruder in my home that would be there to probably kill me. Like,
right.
It's, but nowadays you can't even threaten a criminal. That's weird. But anyways, while they're doing the graping, so I said this, and another person has a much larger Twitter personality said something similar. They said they think that this should be totally like lawful. They like quote tweeted the same thing. It was like,
wow.
They think it should be legal to grape you if you break into your home. And that's so basically
it's your home.
Yeah, his was serious.
My house, my rules.
Exactly. And his was serious, and mine was like a joke. But whatever, So that being said, the actual original tweet, like, because it's the actual article itself's a joke. It's all a joke. It was all, every response was a joke. It was all one of those silly like articles. The article in question literally had a Chad guy standing there, like behind bars, because he was a Chad for graping the intruder.
Wow.
This is the actual article itself right here. This is it.
That's him.
You see the Chad guy? He's sitting there, and this is what I quote tweeted. This is exactly what I quote tweeted. This guy even said, unpopular opinion, if someone breaks your home, you should be able to grape
them. This guy lived your dream.
Yes, he did great. Oh, and I got banned for it. So
wow. The days are relentless. The days, they love to mob up and cancel somebody.
Yep. That's what they do, man. That's what they do. And the person that kind of was stemming from it was this furry called Blue Fulf. That was their name on Twitter. And they would constantly advocate for like having sex with children because they said you should be able to be in a sexual relationship with a young child as long as you love them and aren't only in a relationship with them because they're a child.
Okay.
So
that makes it all right.
Yeah, it's literally like, oh, well, as long as you love them and
as long as you remember their birthday.
Yeah. So, but luckily they got banned as well. So thank God.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a really large following. So thank God they're banned too. Everybody's banned. We're all banned. Everybody's getting banned. I'm on my 72nd appeal, and no one seems to care except for Billy Hatcher. He said, "Did you hear about the epic fail of Payday 3 and its complete shit show right now? It's the most hated game studio ever made, and it's forced online." I have not, but
Payday 3, is that based on the candy bar?
No, it's based on you're a bank robber and you kill people.
Oh wow!
Whilst eating the candy bar. That's how they got their product in there.
So energy up.
Yeah, like while they're aiming the gun at the guy at the end, like you bite the candy bar and you're like, it's time for payday, and they just cut your face off. That's what they should do anyway, but they don't. Samantha Bullock says, "Did you see they're calling Travis Kelce racist for dating Taylor Swift? They both what?
His last 3 girlfriends were black women, and so the internet is very upset that he has gone white.
He betrayed. No, you know what? That's weird, actually." That's weird because if a white dude dates a black woman, societally from their culture, they'll get pissed because
even though he's gentrifying that puss.
Yeah. but he's also, maybe increasing her IQ points a little bit through conversation
and credit score.
Now she can get a mortgage. No.
Yes. Now the bank will call her back.
This is crazy. No. So, yeah, but then they'll be mad at that they're dating in the first place. And then now it's like, oh, you're not dating black women. We now are angry again. I'm like, I feel like you're just perpetually angry.
Right. It's never enough.
It's never enough. Cabra Caw. What's up, Camelot, Chrissy, and chat? How you doing, baby? You bitch, Kyle. I love you. Zach says, "Thank me for my blue boy." No. The range lunatic, aka says, "Did you see what the New
Blue
York judge
boy.
did to President Trump?" I have no idea at this point. Probably something like
What did they've somehow kept him from doing business in New York City.
yeah.
They've some sort of fuckery.
There's always some sort of fuckery. It's always some sort of fuckery. And if anything, if there's nothing insane that happens, I foresee him winning, and it's just going to be the most hilarious.
Homeboy, yeah, he just needs to stay alive.
Yeah.
Just stay alive, okay?
Just
Please.
do not.
I pray for him every day.
Yeah.
Just keep this man alive.
Yeah. Just the memes will be glorious. God, it will be so glorious. Speaking of glorious, by the way, guys, we're up against the 220th naked snake in a row, 30 away from the 24-hour stream 250. Thank you guys so much for the constant support over the last 2 years to make that goal happen. Ashton was supposed to do it when we last streamed with her fat titties, and then she just didn't. So it was just my fat titties. So thank you guys so much, Dan Halen. I haven't asked Chrissy, and I don't expect her to bring her fat titties. They're kind of already out anyway.
They're as out as they're gonna be, people.
Yeah.
Unless I get hammered.
Oh, well, there
Who
you go.
knows?
Take some shots. No, I can't. I got to drive in the morning, unfortunately.
You have a big trip.
I have a big old trip. I'm going to drive my supercar. It's going to be great.
Ooh.
Maybe. I don't know. I probably should change the oil in it because I just got it from like the place after I ordered it like a month ago, and I finally got it. And I was like, man, I should probably change the oil and do all kinds of shit to it. But no, I kind of just want to drive it. Dan Halen, would it be wrong of me to encourage more hot women to become home intruders and send them to my address?
If only it worked that way.
If only. Dude, you'd be in jail so damn fast if a girl broke into your house, like trying to steal some shit, and you just gave her the old back beans immediately.
Back beans?
Yeah.
What is back beans?
It's a
Like
long story. There was I had a manager.
testicles?
I had a manager at GameStop. He's a 500-pound man. And he liked to get hookers in Vegas. And he liked to eat like canned baked beans off of their like he would just put the can on their back while he was like bending them over.
Like garbanzo, kidney, pork and beans, refried. What are we talking here?
Steakhouse recipe.
Okay.
Like baked beans.
Okay, that's
like
messy.
Bush. Yeah.
Ugh.
So and he just put the can on their like
bushes.
he'd put the can on their like back, like right above their ass cheeks, and just eat it with like a plastic fork while he was because he can only do from behind because he's 500 pounds, right? So that's all he could do.
Can't even let himself burn the calories from sex. He has to immediately put them back.
He liked baked beans, man. What can I say? Yeah, it's pretty
but would
gross.
he be tooting the whole time?
Yeah. Well, he's to be fair, I don't know how he's not dead because he's like 50 something now. And I'm like, dude, how do you live? Like
50's not old.
50's not old, but when you're 500 pounds since you were like a child, 50 is like 200. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he is. You see a lot of old people and a lot of fat people, but you don't see a lot of fat old people.
No, that's true.
Because they're dead, Chrissy. They died of the
fat. Your fat wants you dead.
Your fat wants to kill you. War Bastard, new here. Just want to know that I love your content, especially when you're live. Keep it up. Thank you, War Bastard. Appreciate you for the first orange boy of the stream, the largest super chat.
I thought that said, especially when you're alive. I was gonna be like, that's cryptic.
Especially when you're alive. It's like, what? Wait, hold on. Rest in peace. Thank you, War Bastard. Appreciate you, dude, so much. Chrissy, can Cody open feature or headline for you? Shit, I'd throw up. I did it on accident, like in Nashville recently.
Sure, Cody, do an hour. You'll be fine.
I would just throw up immediately. No, I did 5 minutes, like 5 solid minutes before we did our show in Nashville.
That's awesome. How was it?
It was awesome. Like I did not expect for the things to happen.
Did you record it?
It's on, I think it's on Nick's Locals. Yeah. So
oh shit. Okay.
Basically, I had like 3 or 4 big jokes that I had been like just been flopping around my head the last couple of days about my situation and other shit. And Nick was like, somebody has to get up on stage and I guess, like introduce everyone. And I was like, well, I'll just do it. And
a little bit.
Right. So I got up and I was going to introduce everybody immediately, but I was like, you know what? I'll just tell the story about my banning thing on Twitter real quick and just kind of get everybody a little bit juicy.
That's perfect. That's a perfect introduction. It's just get up there. That's what I tell all people. Just get up there, start talking, tell a story.
Yeah.
Don't sweat it too much.
Yeah, and I told that, and then I just started like segueing into one of my goofy punchlines for a joke, and I did that a couple times, and everybody was cheering, and I was like, yeah, and it just felt really natural and normal. And then I was like, when I exhausted my goofy 4 jokes that I was kind of talking into avenues to get to, once I told the last one, I was like, all right, everybody, we're gonna introduce some bitches, and
Good
then
for
it
you.
worked out. It was great. I had a
That's
lot of fun.
awesome.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest experiences of my life, and I'm like 33.
Keep a little notebook and write down all your ideas, even if it's like half an idea.
Have an entire chapter dedicated to blacks. Like, how many of these can I tell on stage?
Right. I have one just entirely black notebook that's just for the black jokes.
I mean, it's like low hanging fruit. You got to have something to just pull out really quick, like a quick gun, like the hair trigger, something you can just pull out and just blow some people away. Black jokes, easiest ones.
Oh
You
yeah.
know? Yeah, because if you tell an Asian joke, you're just uplifting the crowd. That's not as fun.
Asians, they've had it too good for too long. I mean, other than on the New York City subway system, anytime a black person is around. But other than that, they're pretty,
Those
privileged.
poor little bastards. 5'2". God, could you imagine? Like 5'2", and you're genetically predisposed to being like 90 pounds. Like, you are fucked.
But they also excel in STEM subjects.
Yeah.
They do pretty good for themselves.
I mean, would you really want to be wealthy if you had a 1-inch penis?
Oh. Life is all about choices. You know what I mean? If someone had served that up to me, it's like, you're going to be small in the pants, but you'll have so much money you won't even care.
Yeah. I don't know.
You can
man.
always buy a sort of they have strap-ons for men that you can just sort of casually wear over your existing. It's like a push-up bra for your dick.
Interesting.
I've seen
So that could work. You could even, I mean, you could get operations maybe.
stuff. Yeah, if they can stretch your legs, why can't they stretch your dick?
Yeah, they could just quite literally slice the flesh around it and then just pull out some slack like a rope. That's how that works, right? You can just pull a little bit out.
They're just like,
just keep on. A little bit more, please. Yes, a little bit more. Come on. It's just dragging behind you.
Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, dude. That's what I would do that in a heartbeat,
Mhm.
But no, there was actually there's a Russian surgery about something similar to that. And I was reading, and like the side effects is like, you will probably never get hard again. And I'm like, well, what the fuck's the point of this? What am I looking at it in the mirror and it's all flaccid and shit? Like, what am I supposed to slap people with it?
It's for looking, not for using.
That just defeats the whole purpose. I'd rather use my 2-inch penis than look at my 9-inch penis. Right.
Decorative. What's the point of that?
Yeah. It's like buying a 10-cylinder like Ferrari and then never driving it. It's just in your garage and you get to look at it. No, fuck that. That's gay.
Take it out on the weekends, polish it, wash it in front of everybody, put it back in the driveway, put it back in the garage.
You're just, you only do it so you can go to the locker room in the men's locker room and just have it out.
Yeah, just have it out.
Check this out. Yeah.
Put your leg up on a bench, blow it in front of a fan. That's what I've heard they do.
You could basically only use it for one thing that would be beneficial, and that would be like letting it hang out, like in the wilderness.
Intimidation tactics.
Yes, or you're in the wilderness and you need to know which way the wind is blowing for certain things, or maybe you're a pirate and you're the captain of your ship. You let your dick flop out, and then you can measure the wind.
Have you heard that sometimes pregnant women, they'll put like a thing above their stomach, like a crystal or something, and if it wags a certain way, that denotes the gender? Maybe you could do that with your huge, useless penis. Just sort of.
Yeah, you could definitely get some money from some dumbasses, especially dumbass women. Can you read my palm? What is wrong with women? What do they do this for?
You would have to tap into like a flaccid penis OnlyFans kink situation. That would be the only way you'd be able to monetize your big useless dick.
Yeah, that would be kind of lame. Like I said,
yeah, but call it softies, Mr. Softy.
I mean, you could get like an iron rod put in it, maybe stainless steel.
Yeah, make your porn name Rod.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be painful though, because it would always be hard then.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. What would you choose? Always hard or always soft?
I don't know. You could never go to the gym again, because your dick would just be like out.
No, you could go to a gay gym.
You could go to the gay gym. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Probably always hard, just so I could use it once in a while.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, quite literally, there is nothing useful about a flaccid penis. Nothing. Can you think of anything? like legitimately, can you think of anything? There is nothing.
Keeps your thighs warm.
It keeps your thighs warm.
Always so hard, just strap it down. Yeah, B. Kenny's got the right idea.
Wait, hold on. You could always hard just strap it down. Yeah, you could strap it to your leg, but there's one beneficial thing about it.
Velcro.
Yeah, Velcro. Well, I don't know. Depending on how. If it's like really short, that thing's like a fucking steel rod. Ain't going down. I think if you ever get in an altercation with like somebody trying to fight you or shoot you, you could just pull your pants down with your flaccid, sad penis, and no one can fight or shoot you when you have a sad little flaccid penis just sitting there.
And just be like,
"Look at this," you know. They'd be like, "Oh,
look at
fuck,
this.
I can't shoot this guy."
Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted to see? Are you happy?
I can't shoot. I could never fight or shoot a guy that like pulled his dick and it's just flaccid. But I'll be like, well, I can't shoot him.
Man, I'm so sorry.
You can't shoot a dude with his cock out. That's weird. That's weird.
How is that not gay?
Yeah. If you shoot him, it would be gay, you know, because then you're penetrating him whilst his dick's out.
It's officially a hate crime. I don't know why every guy is not doing this, that they think they're about to get shot. Just take your dick out and be like, you wouldn't shoot a gay guy, would you?
There's quite literally a video online and it's old as fuck. And it's like this Asian dude, and this dude like is running down the street, very obviously pissed off, giant black dude or something, and wanting to kick his ass. And he immediately like rips his shirt off and then pulls his like shorts down and like gets completely naked. And the black dude stops in his track and starts backing up and starts kind of running. And then like because you immediately the situation's diffused, you know?
Oh yeah. Because
you don't know what's gonna happen. So if you're in a normal altercation and you're like calling each other names, you're both pissed. You're expecting somebody to swing, maybe something's going to happen, right? They're going to grab or something.
If you take your dick out during a fight, it's like it's actually genius because the guy goes, "Oh my god, was he assuming I was gay this whole time? Like, is that what this has been building up to?"
And then you have to run to prove you're not gay. Yeah, or see. My thought process, if I'm walking down the street, dude slaps my girl's ass, and I'm like, whoa, what's up, bro? And he's like, let's fucking go. And I'm like, let's fucking go. And then we're all pumped and ready. And then he just like pulls his pants down real fast, takes his shirt off. He's just butt ass naked. Like, I realize in this moment, this dude's a fucking psycho. Like, he could fucking gouge my eyes out or something, right? You're just trying to punch a little and like prove you got self-worth. If he's got his dick out, there's something else going on in this dude's head.
Yeah. He just was trying to get your attention.
Yeah, and then he's gonna gouge your fucking eyes out. That's what I'm totally feeling. Push Up says you're both freaking awesome. Just
Push Ups.
Thank you, Push Ups. I appreciate you, dude. Zach says import Japanese condoms. They'll make you feel better. Well, I need to do that for sure because I'll never forget that time. I was like 16 or 17, and I had like an emergency situation where I hung out with this girl off MySpace, and she was like immediately like ready to like go and I was basically a still like 9-year-old in my head when I was 16. So when she started like pulling my pants down, I was like, oh my god, what's happening?
That's so young though. Like
yeah, I was 16. And anyways, and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta put a condom on because that I had health class, and I like had this like condom that I had bought I don't remember, and this shit like was wearing like a tube sock on your thumb. And I was like, this is weird. Like, isn't this supposed to be like a little bit like more form fit around my little tiny pants? It was
like a sandwich baggie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it was like a huge fucking like condom. Like, but it was like still, it was definitely not for white boys that were 16.
That's a horrible first impression. That's like a horrible first condom experience.
It was pretty bad. Yeah. Oh, and then when I was 17, I think I was 17 or had just turned 18. I was hanging out with a girl, this scene girl, back when emo and scene girls were like a thing. Now they're just trans. Luckily, you can wipe off eyeliner back then. You can't really wipe off a double mastectomy. So, I was hanging out with this scene girl. She was 16. I was 17, or had just turned 18. I can't remember. It's been so long. And I remember using like it was like the first time, like my official first time, which I consider because the first one was so bad. And like I used a condom and I was like, okay, it's whatever. And then the second night we hung out, we were there, we're hanging out, and the condoms were like upstairs, like 2 flights of stairs. And we were like in the intimate moment. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'll just pull out. It'd be great. And I like remember inserting for the first time, like officially in my mind.
You're like,
And
"Ah."
it was like that scene in that one movie, Doctor Strange, where he's flying through fucking space, and it's like beep 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 beep, and he's like that's what it was like when I put it in. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. It was the coolest feeling. I was like, well, I'm never using the condom again. That ruined
Welcome to the
everything.
80s. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I only ever used one once or twice after that, and now I'm like 33.
Look at that.
Yeah, it all worked out. I'll never forget being 28, and I had exhausted Tinder, exhausted it.
You
Like
completed it. In fact, you got to the end of it and they're like,
yeah,
"Congratulations.
it was over.
You beat you beat Tinder."
It was like, congratulations, you won. No, like no shit. I paid for Tinder like gold because it was like so cheap, and it was like $10 a month or something stupid. And it was like, you get unlimited everything. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to go ham. So it got to the point where every time I would swipe right, I would match no matter what. And I was like, this is crazy. And I was just hooking up with girls every single day. And they were all like 21, 22, 23. I was 28, 27, 28. Because this was like during the height
Like
of Tinder.
shooting fish in a barrel.
It was crazy. And I would talk to my friends. I'm like, bro, just download Tinder. And they'd be like, dude, I haven't had a match in like a year. And I'm like,
You're like,
this is impossible. This is impossible. So I went through the ringer, dude. And it was like 2018. I finally decided I was going to uninstall Tinder because you learn this weirdly uncomfortable truth that is unnerving after you do it for so long. You learn that almost like 9 out of 10, maybe 98 out of 100 women are identical and uninteresting. And it's like brutally like uncomfortable to learn that. It's like, oh shit.
I kind of learned a similar thing. Like I was on some of the apps. I had like a very single summer before I met my husband. And
Wait, hold on. What is a very single?
I had a very single summer. I had the summer of George. And looking back, I'm like, you have a lot of the same type of experiences. And I think my advice to younger women would be like, yeah, like go ahead. Like, I don't know. I just feel like 7 out of 10 guys are all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you don't worry about getting your numbers up. Like you're not missing anything. You're not no one's gonna wow you with something you've never experienced before.
Yeah, it was like every girl watched Netflix and every single girl was like, "Oh, I love beer." And I'm like, "Ugh." And like I would be like, "What's your interest?" And it would always be like, "Well, I'm into like horror movies or I'm into like bands." And I'm like, "But like what are your interests?" Because everyone listens to music. Everyone consumes media. What are your interests? And they like
But
would not be able to
beer.
fathom. They couldn't even understand what I was talking about. And I'm like, but like, do you like playing instruments or something?
But then you realize it's because they're 21 and they haven't lived life yet. They're just out of school. They're maybe just out of college. They actually haven't maybe had a real job yet.
I think. Well, I was in a different situation. So when I was growing up, I was like obese until I was 17, and I feel like looking back now, not actively when I was in that state. Well, looking back now, I had to develop a personality for people to be around me, right? I had to like try to make people laugh and have a good time. And
yeah, and you learned that while you were fat, which is like we do love a fat shaming, but it's also a great personality and sense of humor generator.
Yep. And I retained that for my whole life. And you'll see these women and guys, of course, on the opposite end of the spectrum. These women that they've been attracted their whole life. They've been popular their whole life. They've got compliments 10 times a day their whole life. They've generally got everything they ever wanted, upper middle class. And you're like, you think you're kind of dumb for being shocked that they're completely hollow, and have nothing going on. So it makes you cherish like those 3 people. I think when I was on Tinder, I had to delete it like 5 times and re-download it because I would like max out the freaking like thing. Or the match thing, and which is funny because I had a female roommate for a while, and mine paled in comparison to hers, and it was the craziest shit. And she was like an average girl. So, but anyways, about 3 out of the over 100 like girls that I like met up with and like hung out with over the years, 3 of them were cool as fuck that I would totally love to hang out with more. 3 that would like not talk about the same shit or want to do the same shit.
What's the same shit?
Going to the club on Friday or Saturday. You know, going to dinner. Watching
Wow,
Netflix.
dinner.
Yeah, the same shit. Like, you know, no interest. Absolutely no interest. Listens to whatever is on the radio.
Do you think that is because a lot of these women were from the same type of area, same type of family, same type of background, same type of upbringing? Like, were you maybe attracted to a type which led you to a lot of these same types of women?
Well, it was I would just if the girl was attractive, I would try to hang out with her. So it wasn't like I was searching for anything. And you know, I got to the point where, you know, if she was hot enough, I didn't read the bio. You know, I'm just swapping. Right? So like, and they would just have, and they were not from the same area. I live in a college town. There's a college like a mile from my house, and it's a big one. So every girl is from Kansas, Washington, SoCal, Illinois, Michigan, Maine. Just I've hung out with girls from all over. I've hung out with an Australian girl that was here for school. Several Asian girls here from school. Now the Asian girls are completely different though. They're not like the white ladies.
They love you a long time.
They were like super laid back, like, and just would just chill. But they always had a boyfriend for some reason.
Because men love Asians.
Yeah, they had a boyfriend and they would just come to my house. It was weird.
Oh, they would cheat on the boyfriend with you.
Those Asian girls.
They wanted a big American penis.
I guess. Well, no, like they would always have white boyfriends, but the white boyfriends were always really effeminate. And
okay.
they come over to my house. And now I don't know if I'm not effeminate back then, but they would come to my house and we'd hang out. And
you didn't feel bad about hooking up with somebody with a boyfriend?
Not at the time, no. Now I would. It's abhorrent, and I would never do it now. But back then, dude, my wife had just left. I didn't give a
okay. You were on the rampage. Yeah.
You know, it was almost
like I
like
you've healed.
Oh
since
yeah,
that breakup.
100%.
Like you've worked on things.
Yeah, I ain't bothered by nothing. But yeah, I don't. I haven't even thought, dude. I haven't thought about my ex-wife, but like probably twice in the last 2 years, and that's because somebody was like, "Hey, did you hear about?" You know, so and so doing this thing, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I haven't looked at her like Facebook in like years.
That's the best when you get to a place where you're like, oh, I haven't even thought of this person.
Yeah,
it was
a
long time.
It's been like that for years though. Since 18, 19 is I never thought about it.
Oh, that was a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Anything before the pandemic was like 100 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. No, but going back to my my roommate, typically my guy friends didn't have success like I did on Tinder for some reason. Because now granted my first profile picture was always me with like shredded fucking 8-pack every time.
Girls love that.
Obviously.
They weren't even reading the bio. They're just swipe.
I mean, you're going to do that, right? If you can. So back when I had, you know, good abs. Now I'm old. But she was a normal average girl. She was cute, but you know, normal, just goofy little girl. And she would show me her Tinder and be like, look, dude, check this out. And just swipe her out without looking. And it would be like match 100% of the time. And I'm like, that's crazy. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and it'd always say 999 plus matches every time. Just on her thing.
Wow.
That's crazy. Fucking crazy. Yeah, just because just men will have sex with anybody, which that makes sense. But I feel like I also know what I would like want and really what is the word? Adore what I would have if I found somebody that was like just magnificent, because I've been through the fucking ringer, man. I know what's out there, you know, and it sucks, you know.
But now you know what you want.
Yes, and that is 6'1" blonde with giant ass, and she lets me do whatever I want, and she's also basically a guy, but like with a woman body.
Okay. So a trans. You're looking for a trans.
A trans woman is what I'm looking for.
A female swimmer. With
definitely cannot have children. Because that's not what I want. Steve C says Camelot, not doing the debate. FTM. FW. Thank you. I appreciate you, Steve. Yeah, I don't care, man, about politics really. I just kind of want.
Is that tonight?
Yeah, it's on right now.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it until I scheduled my Rumble stream, and it was like, watch the Republican debate at 8 or 9 Eastern. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know that was coming on.
Is Trump gonna be on it? Nope, not
No.
interested.
Yeah, exactly, dude. If he was on it, I might fucking watch it because he's gonna say some stupid shit. Like that's the whole point. Is I love when they'll be like, "You called women whores," and he'd be like, "No, I called this one a whore," and I'm like, "Oh, it's hilarious."
Just Rosie O'Donnell because she
Yeah.
is a whore.
Yeah, he would just completely agree. And when you agree, it completely shuts people down. Like people will be like, Camelot, you've changed. I don't like your channel anymore. You're evil now. And I'll be like, I agree. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Like they're like, it's over.
Wow. People just
That's
want
how
to
you
fight.
get canceled, right? That's what you see on Twitter. People getting canceled. It's because they're like groveling and apologizing for their abhorrent behavior. No, just say you're gonna fuck another stripper. Who cares? And then they're like, well, I guess he's just gonna fuck strippers. And then they're like, that's kind of cool, actually. I respect that. That's what people say when they're wanting to destroy you socially. They're like, we're gonna destroy this person. You smashed a hooker on camera and snorted coke off her ass. You should be ashamed. And then if you respond, hey, yeah, and I'm gonna do it again tonight. They're like, huh, okay, well, I guess I actually respect that a little. Like it's crazy.
I find the people who most go into that, they get on their high horse about, oh, you've changed, you're different. It's like those are never people that know you very well. Those are people that maybe knew you like 10 years ago.
Yep.
And they have this idea of you, and they're either jealous or your progress has shown them, damn, like I've seen in real time him go from here to here, and I'm at the same level, which makes me kind of feel fucked up. Like I haven't done as much.
I haven't done anything. No, it's funny though, because when I see comments like that, I never recognize the user. Ever. Not once have I ever recognized the person. And I'm really good with profile pictures and names. I remember people. There'll be somebody that I haven't seen in 4 years pop in my stream, and I'm like, oh, dude, holy shit. You know? But those people are like, you've changed. I'm like, man, I have no idea who this is. You've changed. I'm like, dude, I'm the same.
You know what else? You know what also changes? Everything and everyone.
Yeah. I'm not gonna just agree. Which I feel like I've believed the same shit for like at least since I was 20, at least. Holy Ozone. Welcome back, Chrissy. Good to see you.
Hi, Holy Ozone.
Thank you, Rob. I love you, dude, for your goal, boy. It's the second one of the stream. I almost said first, but Billy Hatcher's here. Thank you, Holy Ozone. I love you, and I can't wait to see my boy soon. Dark Side would love says, hey, Cody, I've been enjoying your show, especially with Zia. Ooh, good to see Chrissy back on. I look forward to some offensive humor. Hell, Simpcast, hell, F&T. We're going to fat shame in a minute. It's going to be fun. Thank you, Dark Side. Appreciate that so much. The show with Chrissy won't be happening because I'll be racing Saturday, but it might happen Sunday. I'm gonna ask Zia. You know what's weird? When I talk about Zia or talk about you, I literally will say your name opposite. So I'll be like, yeah, my show with Chrissy Saturday, and I'm like,
really?
They'll be like, you're on stream with Chrissy Saturday, and I'm like, I meant Zia. Why did I say?
That's
Chrissy?
so interesting. Maybe because
really
we're besties.
Maybe Zia, Chrissy. I feel like it has the same fucking sound, maybe. And Krista McGough. By the way, guys, we are 380 from the 220th naked snake in a row. Thank you, guys. Krista McGough says, haven't you heard about the African warlord General Butt Naked? He ran into battle butt naked. Now he's a Christian minister or something.
Haven't heard of him.
That sounds awesome. Like I would just be scared of taking an arrow to my dick shaft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would take an arrow anywhere, but like not
to the butthole.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm not surprised.
But not my dick shaft.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris McGough. I love you. I appreciate you. Raking Night on Rumble says, finally, I was dying from watching the cringe of the GOP debates. I appreciate you rocking. Look, this is the way I see it. I cannot watch people in business suits stand in front of a mic and quite literally say shit that means nothing. Like, once I am in office, I will sign an executive order to close the border. And I'm like, no, you won't. Fuck off. And no one cares. This is all bullshit. It's all
You're
theater.
all lying. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes me sad. It kind of makes me feel like every leaders are just installed, which is even more scary.
Yeah.
Probably more likely than anything.
I've become more and more aware of that fact, like last 10 years or so.
Yeah. I just remember, I'll never forget. And I've noticed this over the years. I remember, I voted for Obama when I was 18 because I was 18.
Me too. You didn't know any better.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like change. I like change. I'm for change. I was a stupid kid. And then I remember he won. And then like the past few years went by and I didn't really pay attention. And then the Affordable Healthcare Act was passed or whatever. And I remember getting a letter from a health insurance company, and they were like, your premium will be going from $37 a month to $284 in the next pay cycle. And I was like, what? And I canceled it. And I was like, well, I fucked up. Oops. Well,
Oh well.
and all that makes me think of is everything stagnated for a couple years. And now we got a blue guy in the office again. And my property taxes in 3 years went from $1,600 to $8,000 in 3 years.
Whoa.
8,000. Now look, people, it's your local government. Yeah. Okay. Also, every time I go to the grocery store, it's almost $280, $300 every time when I'm getting all of my shit on.
Yeah, it's like $50. I bought like berries and cereal and mustard. I'm like, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah, it's brutal. I went to Costco, got my case of egg whites, my case of meat, my roast meat, and my bacon. And then I get like a case of Monsters, and I get my dog food, my cat food, and it's like $300 every time. And it's like 8 things.
Wow.
So, yeah.
But does it make you feel better that all that money's going to Ukraine?
Yes, thank God. Yes, it's so great. It's just, I feel like it's money laundering, man. I just feel like it's money. It's all money laundering.
Absolutely.
Yep. Doesn't make any sense. Squid, how do you know when your girlfriend's getting fat? When she starts sitting in your wife's clothes. Oh, dude, I'd have to switch the off switch. I'm gonna be honest. Like if I was with somebody and they started getting round, which is they're leaving my, what is my preference range? They're fucking leaving it. They're like,
what is that range? How many pounds are we talking here? What's your window?
Let's say you're 5'6". Depending on if you have a normal build, normal fatty deposits on your body, anywhere from 115 lowest, which I mean you can gain weight in like a fucking week if you want to, if you're below that. Probably 140 highest. Depending on who they are, depending on their body chemistry, like their body composition. Some women are like
very dense and
150,
very muscular.
140, totally look great. But generally speaking, 140, you're over 140, you're 5'6", and you're gonna look a little bit floopy. And my PP starts getting a little bit limp when it's a little bit floopy.
Now, would you say something at any point?
Oh yeah.
How would you? Because a lot of people don't know how to broach that topic to a woman.
I would literally say, without any hesitation, I'd be like, "You're getting kind of round, so we need to go. We need to start dieting together and go to the gym together, and we'll do this as a team."
Would you say round?
Yeah. So it's pretty easy for me because I have a preference. Look, I will not beat around the bush, and it's one reason why I'm not pro marriage. I don't think the government needs to be involved for some arbitrary document that binds us. It's people are always like, well, marriage is based in religion, and I'm like, well, why does the local government of Alabama, how does that have anything to do with the Bible? What the fuck? This is stupid. So I'm like, let's be a team together and go through life, and we'll do the things. But if you leave my preference range or vice versa, you can leave no strings attached, right?
Right.
So that's the idea. Because what if you get married and then your chick's like, all right, bitch, I'm eating cookies. And then they just get to 300 pounds and you're like, well, I want to leave. And it's like, well, you're going to give me $58 million when I do. I'm like,
wow.
Great, I'm going to fucking.
And you know what? That sucks because you wouldn't want to marry somebody who would do that to themselves and you. And if you didn't even want to have kids, there kind of is no point in getting married because I think the whole point of marriage is for the kids.
Yep.
So on the tax benefits.
Yep. And shit, ain't no tax benefits. I feel like there's never tax benefits. Every time I do my taxes, I'm like, there ain't no benefits, man. It's just all getting wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'll never forget that time I was doing my taxes and it was like, you owe 27 grand or 30 something grand. I don't remember what it was. And I was like, well, this sucks. And then the next page was like, are you self-employed? And I'm like, oh yes, I am. Click. And I clicked it and you could see the numbers changing like it does on TurboTax.
Oh no.
And it goes to 51 grand and I almost threw up.
Oh God.
Because the self-employment tax is 12% on top of 100, everything else you make. You have, you're self-employed, 12% for no reason. So that's how they get you. And so you just got to write off everything that you use. Then make sure you remember everything. You document everything that you purchase that is used in conjunction with what you do for your job, or else you're going to be nuked. And you make big purchases. I'll be like, oh, building a new PC. Click, buy it now. Building a new camera. I got a new camera. I got 3 cameras now. I have
Cool.
I have 4 mics. I have 3 interfaces. I have a setup downstairs, desk, chairs, everything. So yeah, I make sure I get it in, because or else I'm gonna get wrecked at the end of the year. Just wrecked and ripped in half. So
Yeah, I remember when we did the first content house, I had to buy like 4 or 5 Shure mics. I was like, goop, like full like arm stands,
yep.
several computers. I'm like, oh, I feel like a big boy now.
Yep. And then when you do your taxes, that 10 grand you spent is going to save you like 2 or 3. Like, thank God, and now I wish it just saved you 10 grand. That'd be great, but it doesn't. But I'm scared of that time where I have a year where I don't have to do anything and then I'm fucked. Oops. Well, I just bought a house. Writing that off, and I wish you could do that. That'd be great. Matt, I'm naked, showering. Make me tolerant. Why are you showering and watching the stream, bro?
Yeah, why are you showering naked? Weird.
You stroking it? You can't even use soap either to lube the shaft because it burns, right? I remember experimenting when I was a kid, and there would be like different fucking forms of lotion that would just burn. I'm like, this sucks. You had to find the right
some
one.
lubes really burn too. Like they'll be for intimate enhancement. Be like, no, this just burns.
Yeah, and then you'll go like I'm like, I just learned I'll use some heavy like doctor prescribed Cetaphil an hour before. I got to plan it, light some candles, and have a fan blowing on my hands to make them look baby soft, but no residue because I'm not trying to burn my shaft off, right? So you got to make it perfect.
You sit in front of a fan and dry your hands.
Yes. And then you have to it's almost like a radiator for a car. I have to point a fan at like my shaft pointing up. So it's like
fan at your dick.
Right. So there's no friction like burn,
Wow. And that actually works.
Yeah. Yeah. I've broken away from the like using KY and then tying a shoestring like around the base of my balls and pulling while I'm doing it.
Shoestring?
Yeah, it's called dick wrangling.
What does that do?
Forcibly edges.
Pretty cool. That during sex?
No, during the stomach pancakes.
Stomach pancakes?
Yeah, when you're making stomach pancakes.
What is that? Are you talking about pooping?
No, that's called a blumpkin. No, it's stomach pancakes. You got batter. You're shooting the batter onto your stomach.
Oh, you shoot it onto your own stomach?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
It's warm. It's good for your skin.
Why do you want it on you?
Because it's good for your skin.
So you come on your own stomach, then rub it in.
Yes. How do you think people like Madonna don't age until like just recently?
Adrenochrome?
No, come on the face. Get blown on by the face.
She gets a ton of work done.
She does. No, she looked like a monster for a minute there. I don't know why she did that. And then she made this creepy freaking those videos on like TikTok or whatever where she's just like looking into the camera and slowly getting closer to it. I think she was like that was like kind of a genius.
When you come on your own stomach, it's gonna like slough off. It's gonna like flake off, is it not?
Well, yeah, you have like a base, like you have like a washcloth or something like at your little crevice that catches anything. You don't want it to go down and like touch your ass. That's weird. Makes you gay for sure.
I think coming on yourself is a
no, dude. Okay, so yeah, we're all having a good jokey time right now, but like this one time. Dude, this one time, I can't believe it. I even think about it now and it makes me laugh. I was like 19 or some shit. And I was, giving it the old 1-2. And I was on the phone with like a long distance girlfriend. And I don't know what was going on. If it was just the timing and the like testosterone levels in my body or what was going on. But I was giving it old 1-2. And then she didn't even know, by the way. I was just talking to her.
Wow.
And I get to the point, where I'm gonna, unleash the baby gravy, and it is so powerful. It was like a super soaker, and I remember I was laughing out loud because it never happened to me before, and it shoots and it hits my ceiling.
What?
And now look, to be fair, I lived in a trailer, so the ceiling was like 7 feet high. Right?
Okay.
But I hit the ceiling.
And you had bunk beds.
Yeah. But it was like hit the ceiling, made a noise, and then like. What is it? Like matter from it, like small, like droplets of matter, like literally painted me all the way up. It was like I felt it. I was
That's
like,
almost artistic.
I was like laughing, and that's never happened again. It's pretty cool.
Did you tell the woman on the phone what
No.
happened?
No. I think I told her later about it, like the next day, but it was weird, man. It's
Like
crazy.
I just made a cumsicle. Like I
Yeah.
made a stalactite with my
Yeah.
cum.
Because you don't think it's a real thing until it happens. Like, you watch movies like Scary Movie and he launches her off with this. I was like, I did not think that it like could actually do that projectile. And it was like making a noise. It was like whoosh, whoosh, like just shooting. Like it was crazy, dude. It was wild.
You should set up like an obstacle course for your cum, like different little hoops for it to jump through.
Yeah, could you imagine the mess though? Have you ever seen those
Target.
like those bronies? They'll have like a jar and they just come in a jar like every time.
Ew.
And they'll leave it.
So gross.
Yeah, dude, they'll leave it on their desk. And there was this like famous picture.
Oh God, like creatures could grow in that.
Yeah. There was a really famous picture, and it was like a dude's desk. You know how degenerate some people can be. And it was like 4 jars on his desk, and they were all filled to the brim with like cum. And he would put like little My Little Pony, like little figures in the cum jars, and they were like dark, like yellow and like mold covered.
Because
And
there's like uric acid in there, like pee
Yeah.
particles. So
Yeah,
it's like you're aging cum and pee together.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I've been collecting my cum for years now." And I'm like,
What was he gonna do with it?
I don't know. I guess he just like looking at it. I don't know, and I don't get it.
That's a mental illness, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
One of my boyfriends had 18 Gatorade jars full of pee in one of his closets. I discovered it one day.
See, but did you ever say like, why do you have the pee jars?
No, I was like, I'm gonna be a good girlfriend and dump out the 18 bottles of pee, old, gross, nasty pee into his shower.
Was he pissed?
I think he was. He was like, he was a little pissed, but I think it's because he was very embarrassed, and it was an embarrassing thing to find.
Who's embarrassed? Like, oh, did he not think his girlfriend, who he was inserting his penis into, was not going to find the fucking piss?
And it's not like I was snooping. It's not like I was looking for piss bottles. I think I just was trying to tidy up.
Oh my God.
It was disgusting. There's nothing worse than old pee in a bottle. Maybe old cum.
Maybe yeah, I mean, I wonder what it would smell like. So like,
then you can't dump it out. It's like thwack, it probably doesn't even come out the jar.
Yeah. Well, it gets really like orange and liquidy looking. So it's like less viscous.
I'm getting a little bit of shade from the chat for dumping them out. Like, what would you have done? You can't just throw out bottles of liquid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna, like crap up the trash compactor with that. I'm not gonna throw it down the garbage chute. What am I gonna put it in a bag, like a plastic bag, and take it outside? I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like maybe somebody's collecting them. It's like hoarders. They collect weird shit, dead cats and whatnot.
It wasn't like a hoarders. It was like he had 4 roommates and in one bathroom. So
so he just pissed in bottles. Okay, that makes sense. He was like, yeah, I don't feel like leaving my room. I'm just gonna piss. That makes sense.
Well, oftentimes there would be a roommate in the bathroom.
Yeah. So that makes. Well, I mean, Jeremy, he pissed in the drawer once because he had to piss, right?
The drawer?
Yeah, like the quartering. He like pissed in a drawer or something.
His own drawer?
Like a nightstand drawer or something.
Instead of like a cup or something?
I think so. I don't remember the story, but I'm pretty sure he pissed in a drawer.
Wow.
Which I did. I remember pissing in a drawer
like a
when I was like,
move. That's like
yeah. I was like 4 years old, and I remember pissing in a drawer once.
I don't remember anything from 4.
My first memories was actually when I was 2, which is the weirdest shit in the world. You wouldn't think it would be that early on, but it was December 27th, 1992, I think, or the 23rd. Because there's a video of it.
Okay.
I remember playing in a Lego bucket and then running into the room and playing Super Nintendo with my cousin, and we were playing Chippendales Rescue Rangers.
Chippendales,
yeah.
Rescue Rangers, Chippendales.
When there's danger,
danger lurks behind you. There's a stranger out to find you. Oh, that's DuckTales.
That's DuckTales. This is completely different.
I just did a right turn. Oops.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, anyways, I remember seeing like when I was 20 a video of it, and I was like, "Holy shit, I remember this!" And I was like, "I guess that was my first memory." It was weird. So you tweeted out the other day, why do so many people think they can stop working on their relationships after they get married or have kids? What prompted you to tweet that?
I've kind of been inspired by Pearl lately. It's like she's been well, yeah, it's good for her for trending. I think she's a very interesting voice on the internet at the moment. I
Yeah.
think she's inspiring a lot of interesting conversation. I don't know how the sort of spat came about between her and the Daily Wire boys. But it's been interesting to kind of watch her go from like trad conservative values, like not don't be a whore and whore shaming and like figure it out quick, to now being completely anti-marriage and seemingly MGTOW.
Yeah.
Um, and then like her whole thing is like, right, the court system is fucked and very much favors women in a divorce and favors mothers when there's kids involved.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, well, all right, what's easier to do? Change this system, which you're not going to do, or like be aware of the system that you're entering into, and then don't marry someone who would take advantage of that system. Like you
Yeah.
can look for signs, you can observe and pay attention to women and see signs of like, okay, this is someone who is manipulative. This is someone who maybe lies about shit to like stay in the relationship. Sure, you could just not marry the person, but like if you do want to have kids, marriage is probably the best move. So I just don't think the answer is like completely give up um and don't try and just be alone forever. I just don't think that I just don't think human beings can function for too long like being alone. And like yeah, like it's all fun to like hook up and have like, the summer of George, but I think ultimately happiness and longevity, all that are going to be more in your favor if you have like a ride or die partner than
Yeah.
someone who like just, oh, I have 5 people I can call to have sex with within the
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah. That, I guess that's the scariest part about the whole thing is there are people where you can tell signs, and like that's the situation. Okay, so this is what makes my mind completely different. And that's because when I got married, um I was in that like hot girl summer kind of thing. I was like 20 or 19, 20. Um, and I was hanging out with a lot of girls, and I met, my ex-wife, and we hung out, and it was for a year. I wasn't even like sure. I was like, oh, we're hanging out, whatever. And we just kept hanging out, and we like became fucking inseparable best friends. And every single day was great. We laughed and cut up. We finished each other's sentences all the way up until the day she told me she's leaving 7 years later.
Uh,
There was never a moment where we stopped having sex regularly. There was none of that. It was great all the way out. And then I came home one day, and she was just quiet. And I was like, why is she so quiet? Not like jokingly was like, you all right? You're kind of quiet. And then she like kind of like starts like choking up, and she's like, I don't love you anymore. I'm leaving.
ugh,
And I was
that
like,
sucks, man.
what? So then it like panned out, and then she, or fleshed out or whatever, and she left, and I didn't see her for like 4 months, and she was just gone. And now, granted, she didn't like sue me or anything. It was a pretty easy, break as far as legally goes. But yeah, it was crazy to
How
me.
long were you married for 7 years or together
Yeah,
7 years?
yeah.
Was there someone else?
No.
Wow.
Okay, so this is what she alluded to. She sent me an email way later, and I didn't read it because it was years later, and I was like, fuck, dude, I'm past that. But she alluded to she was in a relationship since she was 14, and like had 2 boyfriends before she met me. And she never got to experience being self-sufficient and single.
Did
And
you experience her as being overly codependent or, couldn't do anything on her own?
no, she was pretty like up to scuff. Like she could take care of herself roughly, and I probably was more codependent than anything. Probably just because I was so young at the time, like when we got together. But when she left, like the week she left, I grew up. I grew up like 10 years in like a week. It was crazy
Yeah.
because you were like, I had to like tackle everything. She was like, well, go get the the power, I think, in the water was in her name. So I had to like just I had to go do all these menial tasks and call all these people on the phone, and it immediately made me into like and I had no one to rely on. Like all my friends had moved away. Like
Uh,
my
that's
closest friend was in Oklahoma.
that happens a lot with men. That's why divorce is harder on men because you sort of become like emotionally homeless, where
Yep.
women are better at maintaining their friendships. Like they're used to still sort of venting and like chatting it up with their girlfriends, whereas like men tend to like fully invest in the woman and like she becomes their buddy, like their source of sex, romance, right? And like a best friend. And for some reason, it's just it's pretty emotionally devastating for men
Yeah.
when
And
that ends.
so like back to when you said you need to look for signs and find your ride or die partner. Like there are situations, and the only reason I say this is because it was my situation. There's those situations where you find that person, and then there was absolutely no indication the day she told me she was leaving. There was fucking zero. It was the craziest shit I ever experienced in my life, dude. It was the weird. Cause the night before, mind you, we watched like a horror movie. We stayed up till 4 a.m. because I just got home. I was out of town for like 3 days. I just got home. We stayed up all night. We watched horror movies. We ate cookie dough. We had sex. And we like laughed and cut up. We were like in tears, laughing, having a good time. And then the next morning, she's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving."
Did you ask her like, "Hey, when did you start to feel this way?" Because you don't just wake up one morning and be out of love. Did you ask her like, "When did this
Yeah, of
start?"
course. Yeah, she said it was like 6 months prior. She started feeling like a pull, like this urge to go be alone.
Wow. I mean, like,
Wow.
good on her for being honest with herself. Did she have like an eat, pray, love moment? Did she like want to go travel? Like, what is it that she
Yeah, I
needed
mean,
to go and do?
she traveled for a couple months, like on and off and stuff. Now she did tell me like 3 or 4 months after she left that she wanted to move back home, and she like hated this lifestyle or whatever.
Huh.
And I was over it at that point, and I was like, no, no, thank you. And
Damn.
yeah, but then she eventually got married again and like has kids now. So she had moved past it. We're both past it, obviously. But it was just the weirdest shit. And it put me in this, it kind of taught me a valuable lesson that no matter who the person is, no matter who the person is, no matter how I feel about them, how I can read them, how I think I know them, I can't read their mind, and people change. And that's the only thing keeping me from fucking getting the government involved. And people give me
Mm.
advice all the time, Chrissy. They're like, this is why, this is why,
Which
this
I'm
is
sure
why.
you love.
They're always like, well, you don't actually know. And I get this a lot from people.
How old were you when you met her?
I was 19.
Oh my God, you were a kid still.
Just turned 20.
You were a
So,
child. You
yeah.
changed so much during your 20s.
Yeah. So, but there's people will always, that are in happy relationships, of course, will always tell me what went wrong. And if only I had waited or knew more information, that I would be happy like they are right now. And I hear this a lot. People are like, well, this is what you did wrong, and you need to like think like I do with my current situation where I'm
Mm.
happy. And then a year later, this has happened so many times where I've had people that I've known in the past, either friends or through YouTube, like in the chat, mind you, like where I've had people that were like married in my chat, like a wife and a husband, like in my chat, and they're like, "Yeah, you just need to find somebody where you're super like me and so. We're in such love, and we've been together 12 years, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "That's great, but I can't read people's minds, and people change." And so many of those people and friends and stuff, like one of my old friends used to give me advice about all this shit, and like 90% of these people are divorced now. And they were like, "You should have just done what we did, and
Mm.
and then now they're divorced." And I'm like, "Oh well, apparently no one knows this fucking secret."
It's
Yeah,
okay. All you can do is learn from the past and do better next time. And I also believe to a certain degree things are kind of like meant to be or they're not. And like you were meant to go through that to learn the lessons you needed to learn either for life or for the next woman.
yeah,
It helped you, like you were saying, it helps you kind of adult up
yep.
and become more self-sufficient. And everyone's gone through like, I mean, that's how long were you dating before you got married?
I don't know, like a year,
A
half, year
year
and a half.
is so I think that's very soon, and you were young. You can't beat yourself up too much.
Well, I don't know. It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
You're like,
totally
"I'm
cool.
good."
Yeah, I'm totally cool with it. It's just, people always they're blown away while I'm not into like marriage from the courts like perspective. And it's because it's an uncomfortable truth, but people change and you can't read your significant other's mind no matter how hard you want to. My wife would never cheat on me. My husband would never cheat on me. Oh, by the way, they were. Like, it's just, and you hear this shit from now, look, the most common stat thrown out there is if you could cheat without being caught, would you? And 71% of men and 69% of women say yes. Every single person in a happy relationship will tell you with a straight face that their husband and or wife would never, absolutely ever cheat on them. And half of them are being cheated on right now. So who's wrong and who's right? Fucking terrifying.
Well, we're human beings. I can understand it because men and women both need to feel, even if they're in a long-term relationship, that they're fucking still hot, still fuckable. Women still want to be catcalled. Women still want to be checked out. Men still want to be like complimented. Men are straight up just not getting enough compliments in general. And it's so easy to take your partner for granted. And in a sense, it's like, not to be cynical, but you have to kind of keep that in mind. That's what you said earlier about, like, you were someone, don't gain 100 pounds out the gate. It's like you kind of are both holding each other's hearts and balls in the palm of your hand. It's like you could fuck each other, or you could like look out for that person like you look out for yourself. And you have to get to a place where you treat them as you would treat yourself. And of course, everyone changes. Every single person changes, and no one can read anybody's mind, which is why, and I'm not to give you advice like all your other annoying friends, but just in what I've learned from myself, because I was in horrible relationships and had such low self-esteem. I didn't even think I could get a good man, so I wouldn't even look for one. And then, through kind of just like therapy and growing up and realizing I wasn't going to turn out like my parents, but above all else, it's like you have to be constantly communicating, communicating till you're blue in the goddamn face. And just, it's like, you got to take care of yourself before you try to take care of somebody else. There's so much that has to be maintained. Like you have to think about all the different levels that go on just with you. How's my physical? How's my emotional? How's my self-esteem? How's my like free time? How's my like side hustle? Am I like, do I have enough time to like do these hobbies and things I've always wanted to do? Have I seen my friends lately? And so if your levels are all down low, how are you going to be anything for anybody else? And it seems like your thing was just totally out of the blue and you were blindsided, but I don't think you should. It doesn't sound like you're cynical and anti, love or
of course not.
Being with a woman long term. I can understand how you're definitely burned by the system and by marriage.
Yeah, and there's a lot, and I actually have a good question because you said communication is really important. Let me read this super chat from Johan Noxos because he's the man, and he dropped the first fat ass pink boy in the stream. Let's give him some love. Johan Noxos, the man. Damn, my boy might have saved Naked Snake. Says the problem, Chrissy, is not if a woman will do these things, it's that they are capable of doing these things. And only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are only loved for what they can provide. MGTOW is men protecting themselves. Yeah. I completely kind of agree from a biological standpoint, right? I mean, that's only, but you have to look at why that is. And it's not inherently like bad. It's almost like self-preservation. I don't really like it either, but a woman's not going to voluntarily like go be with a 5'2" guy that would get raped alongside with her in the parking garage, right? She's going to be with the 6'2" guy that can kick the dude's ass, or at least freaking hold him down so she can run. Women are always going to go for a man that they can see that will protect them in some way, shape, or form. And in modern day, that means 50% probably financially now. Than it used to mean in the olden days, it was more brawn. Now it's more financially. So I can understand, because if a woman's not going to date a man that's 5'2" and going to get his ass kicked, but a man's not
unless she's very small, unless she's like a tiny Latinx.
Yeah.
If she's like a little migrant Venezuelan just looking for a green card.
Exactly. But a woman is also not going to date a guy that's 32 and lives with his mom and doesn't have a job. Like it goes, goes both ways, right? But I completely agree with you. Whereas if a man goes, this is where it gets sticky. So if a man loses his job, and his wife has a certain lifestyle, he loses his job and he gets depressed and he's going through some shit. A man would usually stick by a woman in that situation, where a woman will find him less attractive biologically because of the situation he's in, which is
I
why.
don't know. I don't know that a woman would immediately find a man less attractive because they lost a job. If you lose a job and you have no initiative to try to find a job, or you have no goals, you have no like big plans for your life, I think that is something you would
No, yeah, no,
sort of turned off
I
by.
completely agree. The situation I'm kind of speaking about is you have a guy working in a manager or maybe a field manager position at a place that's very, very small town, and they got there from knowing people. They lose their job. Maybe they lose their job for some bullshit circumstances that makes them unhireable, something to that nature, and then they are struggling for a year. A woman generally won't stay around that long. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a man would, because who gives a fuck if you're the man? Like
I
men are
don't
born.
know. You never know. Like, if Frank lost his job and couldn't get something for a year, but he was trying, I'd be like, "I got us. Like, I'll figure it out. Like, we're a
Yeah,
team."
you're not a typical woman. That's the whole point. You make your
Yeah.
own money. You fucking travel and
Uh,
do shit. You bust your ass. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't think it's so easy to say on paper what you would or wouldn't do, um, because, like, I never thought I would date somebody with a kid, but meanwhile, like, you know what I mean? Like, now I'm a
Yeah,
stepmom. You have to, at a certain point, like, let go of what you think you want and just be very present and, meet people both in person and online,
yeah.
and, don't be so tied to what you think you need to have.
Yeah, yeah, and again, like, I agree. Well, the hard part is we look at us for the first examples that we can think of, and it's rural America. Like 95% of America is a woman that either works part-time or lives at home, and then a guy is working at the factory or working at his office job. So, if that dude loses his job and can't find another one fast, he's fucked. And she may love him and she may think all these things of him, but that love will wane immediately when the financial situation isn't there, because now everything's threatened, right? Where if a woman loses her job, like I said, rural America is completely different. A woman loses her job, a guy's like, well, I'll just take an extra shift and we'll get through it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind
I
of the
wish more women felt like anytime I've ever lost my job, I felt so fucking embarrassed, and, I just my parents kinda drilled it into my head, like, "Don't you dare be a financial burden on anybody," 'cause they kind of drilled it into my head that I was a huge financial burden
yeah.
on them, so I just never wanna make anybody I'm with feel that way, and for me, I personally feel, like, embarrassed if I go too long without pulling some kind of income.
Yeah. I have a question after I read the super chat that I was going to ask earlier, then I forgot. Because communication. Based on the overall statistics of marriage, divorce, I'm waiting till my life is in order first, not in any hurry whatsoever. I think me and Red Pill by MGTOW and Manosphere content show me that. Yeah, and I've been very vocal about Manosphere content. I think 90% of it's retarded. It's because it was funny on Fresh and Fit for a while, and then Fresh and Fit became like one of the most profitable content creation channels like in the world for a second.
Mhm.
And now 98% of shit on freaking Instagram Reels, everything I see everywhere on short form content is like these podcasts with these quite literally borderline retarded men. They're like, yeah, so like you don't like if a guy like 5'8" and he ain't made 100 grand, and then the girl's like, yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? These people should not be talking about this. They are both retarded. Why are they talking about this? Whereas Fresh and Fit, those guys, like the main guy, Marlon, I think his name is
The
a
gay
very,
one?
maybe, I don't know. He's the thin looking one.
There's one that acts and seems gay.
That's probably the smarter sounding one. But
Okay.
that dude's obviously intelligent. Like, so he when he talks about it, you can kind of listen, and he kind of sounds intelligent when you can kind of listen to his thought process and stuff. Thank you again, Disco Cobra. But like, man, there were so many people. Like, I'll be scrolling through Instagram Reels, and it's a random people that are another manosphere, and it's like the stupidest shit.
It
Like,
appeals to people who've been burnt, who've been hurt,
yeah,
which is most of us,
yep,
and it's basically like, why women love Sex and the City, why fat women love Lizzo. We love people who basically give us the message that we don't need to change, that it's not our fault, that there's nothing we need to do differently, that it's all the other gender's fault.
Yep, 100%. And so I have a question for you, and I have 2 more super chats after that. So this is a question I ask a lot of people. I talk about this a lot, because I feel like situations change. People, you're not the same person, and you definitely don't have the same wants and needs, or the ability to get those same wants and needs, depending on your situation in life. Let's say you're married, which you are. But let's say hypothetically, you're not Chrissy, you're somebody else, and you're married, and you married at 22, and your husband was working, making 38 grand a year, and you worked part time. You were just chilling, and suddenly your husband gets an idea to start a small company. Blah blah blah, starts making unbelievable amounts of money. 10 years later, he's pulling in 200 million in revenue, and whatnot, and profiting like 40 million a year. Becomes like this really highly sought after influential figure, that can do anything and everything they could ever want, at any point. And their husband comes to you and it's like, look, okay, because you obviously wouldn't work anymore. Like I wouldn't. Fuck,
Really? I would want to do something. At least like
I would want to do something that is a passion project. There is no way in hell I'm clocking in at 9 and getting home.
For like my bimbo spending money, I would have to do something.
Like, for example, you would still probably easily do comedy in YouTube because that's more like passion and like.
I would feel like I was getting the oxygen choked at.
Yeah.
I feel so creatively stifled that
I get stir crazy when I haven't put out a video in like 4 days. I start freaking out, or I haven't done a show. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta do something. So that's how I am. But no, like most women, be working. Your husband comes to you and he's like, look, I'm pulling in $40 million a year. I'm traveling a lot, and I'm doing a lot of stuff. Things have definitely changed, and he's coming to you with communication, and he's like, I have the ability to be with anybody, actresses, whatever I want to do in the future, but I'm choosing to be with you. But once or twice a year, I want to like smash a random bitch in Vegas when I'm like on a business trip.
Can I watch? Can I come? Can I be there? Can I be involved?
Well, like, is that what you'd say?
I would appreciate the communication. I would appreciate, getting the heads up. Like, hey, I have regardless of the income, it's always good to have a communication about it. Like, hey, I have actually some unfulfilled sexual desires. It doesn't even matter if he's making a ton of money or not. I would still want to know, like, hey, that's on your mind. That's something you're thinking about. Like, let's try to find a way to make this happen, or make as much of this happen as I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a much more level-headed response than most people would say. I feel like, because it's
I thought you were
hard.
about to say the guy was going to leave me. I'd be like, well, I understand. That sucks.
Yeah, well, obviously that would be the case, right? Because it's not a when you're that guy, when you're that fucking guy, there's like 8 of those, like per state. If you're that guy, you're not asking. You're like, look, I love you, and I will be with you until the day I die. But I'm putting this out there because you have to know where I am right now and what my capabilities are. Because I could leave tomorrow in a Ferrari and pick up
Sounds
like
a threat almost. Like, I don't know. I just don't like the way that's coming off. Even
it is. It probably should be. It probably should. You probably should take it that way.
I guess I wouldn't be with someone who's like, the more successful I get, the more I'm going to basically like threaten to leave this relationship.
No, well, that I'm talking about subconsciously. Like the conversation would be chill.
But for you to get to that place, I don't know, the guy would have either had to have really completely changed, like the success brought out this really shitty side of him. I would be like, I would hope that I would still be someone he would be interested in, and would have helped him get to this place.
Yeah, of course.
Would have supported like emotionally.
Yeah.
Whatever, in all the ways.
Well, the part of this is that like we have to kind of like talk through and accept is there's not a man probably in the world with like normal testosterone levels that wouldn't have sex with any girl if they could. Like if they could, like, and no one be offended or no one find out or no one care. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're married or whatever. Like you're taking out.
Sure, you have like a biological imperative to.
Because like you said just now, women always say, well, I would hope I was the you able to satisfy all that? And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter who you are. If you were famous actress Olivia Wilde and you were 27 and perfect looking, her husband or boyfriend's gonna get tired of fucking her after like a year, you know?
Really?
100%. Yeah. You could
Maybe she's like a pillow princess if she just lays
maybe
there.
no, but
I
the
think if
point
you're
is
bringing it, if you're, like, not letting your man come on his own stomach, I think it's gonna last longer than a year.
well, it's kind of like the famous quote. It's like, you show me the most attractive woman on the planet, and I'll show you a man that's tired of having sex with her.
Sure, but I think
Yeah,
that has to do with taking each other for granted.
sure. Yeah. Um, it's like, and it goes hand in hand with like the thing that we were talking about earlier is people change, and like you're like, man, I could literally like fucking fly to the moon and have sex with moon women if I wanted to with my status and money. Like you you have to be you have to have more self control than like God almost, right?
It
Like
depends what you want too, like, if you're someone that doesn't feel like you've quite gotten it out of your system, yeah, money, fame is only gonna open up your opportunities, and then that will test your strength, and your will, but that's right, if I take marriage so seriously, I think it's like it's literally a commitment I've made to God and myself, so it's like it's just been such a game changer, and I wonder if
yeah,
that's part of the solution to all this is like, yeah, you can't get married, unless it's, not that I wanna force everyone to be religious or Catholic or something, but
yeah,
there is something about getting married in the Catholic Church that steps everything up, uh, in every way.
yeah.
Like, "Oh, n now this is for real." And that's like not that it's scary, it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes well, that I feel like that would make more sense. Um, although something about freaking when I was growing up, every politician that was like super God oriented was they would always find like their 9 mistresses during like their
Well,
investigation. Like,
politicians, they're
fuck.
just saying what they have to say
Well,
to
yeah,
appeal
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
group they have to
Agreed.
appeal to.
Agreed. That's that I've never been religious, so that's like all the only fucking perspective I can ever see
I
from it.
think, Cam, like, you're very much still in your seed spreading time, but I think most guys even do get to a point where they're like, "I wanna have my ride or die, like, I want someone to take care of me when I'm sick. I want someone to, like, see the world with or, like, help raise our kids with, like, go through life with, catch me when I fall," shit like that, but
Oh,
you
I
have to
agree.
want it.
Oh, I agree with that. I 100% agree, but I also think he wants to fuck other women. There's no stopping that. You can't turn off the biological
Sure.
age.
And, like, the same is true for women too, like,
Mhm.
women and men still wanna feel like they could get it.
Yep. Yep, and the only difference is men and women, they have a slight different motivation for that. Like women will tend to do it based on, like past literature out of more of an emotional state where men will do it more out of a physical state, like you said, reassuring themselves, or maybe they just want to blow a load, but which doesn't really affect their relationship, right? So there's a lot of bullshit around it. I don't really believe most of it, but I like talking about it. It's
And
fun.
it's like talking about like where is that coming from? Is it just you straight up like are in a novelty seeking place? And it's like, were you always in that place? Were you pretending that you weren't in that
Yeah.
place when we got married or when we met? Have you always felt like you're just not into monogamy anymore? I'd be like,
Mhm.
is this a self-esteem issue? Are you
Yeah.
going through something? Did you lose your job? Um like what is behind that? And there's usually a way to talk yourself through that because I don't think you're with a guy and you're like, "Okay, things are good," and then all of a sudden like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have to just fuck everybody I see. I hope you're okay with it."
Yeah.
Um,
And the most nerve wracking part of this is you said, well, was this who you were previously? That's the whole point of like the question and communication between, okay, I started a company, now I'm violently rich. Like, I feel like truly deep down in my heart that most men, given the opportunity, would want to do that. They would just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or and
and
if,
then,
if
like,
that wasn't
how
the
bad
case,
do you want that? And, like, how necessary is that for your happiness and satisfaction? And then, like, can you talk about that with your spouse or your
yeah,
girlfriend? If this is a true desire that you really want more of this in your life, how do we bring that excitement into? Because like, sometimes maybe you just need to go to a strip club with your girlfriend, and then you have different fun new
yep,
sex than you were having
yep,
before. Maybe maybe you both make out with the stripper, it's like,
yeah,
figure out, both people have to be open-minded, like, be
Yep.
constantly vigilantly aware of, like, your fulfillment levels and what would be fun to try. Like, I've really been thinking about this for a while. I really wanna wear a diaper and fill it with Jello. How can we do this? And I think when you, like, really push all those feelings down and pretend or you feel ashamed or you feel like, "Oh, I can't do that with my wife, though I respect her. She's the mother of my
Yeah.
kids, for Christ's sakes." Then you get to a place where you're like, "Oh, it builds up and then you do
Yeah.
something you regret that maybe ruins your relationship." So it's like you gotta stay on top of your wants and, like, just communicate the best you can. Because I think
Yeah.
if your partner really loves you, they will try to do as much as they're comfortable with
Yeah.
that won't, wreck things.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I think you and Frank are gonna be fine. If you can even like talk about that, like maybe you go to the trip, maybe you just try to have the
It's
conversation.
Yeah,
You're
it's
probably
fun.
gonna be all right.
And don't assume that, like, yeah, your person shuts down after they get
Yeah.
married. Like, you're still a man, you still have eyes,
Yeah.
you still have Instagram. Like, don't assume that the world stops because you have a piece of paper.
100%. Yep. So yeah, because and the reason I say that, like I say, you're not typical. So many women and men, when this subject matter would be broached to them in their own relationships, would literally have a fucking meltdown. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be like you. Like, maybe we can talk about this. Like, they're gonna be like, how fucking dare you even fucking consider? You know what I'm saying? You know, whereas just having the conversation and maybe seeing what possibilities lie in this area would actually make the relationship 10 times stronger. You know what I'm saying? Just even having the conversation
Yeah.
would make the relationship. And then you're gonna hold her down and choke her tonight because you're like, oh damn, I respect this woman more. I'm gonna fucking rail her. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like
Yeah.
I've experienced that before. So very important, and also very important is Johan Noxos. What a pink boy! Hot diggity! Damn. MGTOW saved my life. Taught me that you can either love women or you can understand their nature, but you can't do both. I'm not angry. I'm indifferent, and I'm hyper focused on doing the things that make me fulfilled without distractions, dude. I agree. I agree with a lot of that. I the issue is I fucking love women. I
You
can't
could
help
say the same thing for men. I feel like
it.
Johan's he's in his cynical phase right now.
Yeah. That's why he's got ham banana as his little profile picture.
Yeah.
Tonight, you. Yeah, no, I can see every side of every perspective, or I try to at least. I mean, I have my own wants or needs and shit, but yeah, I agree. Johan, focusing on yourself. This is the issue is that people need to do more. People need to do more looking at everything from different perspectives than just one. For example, when you are single, you need to be focusing on yourself times 10 and not fucking worry about shit, which is what Johan's talking about. But
Right.
also, I feel like the opportunity is there to find somebody that you really jive with and maybe build something together, but don't lose yourself because people, dude, I watch my friends all the time. They'll be working on a degree, they'll be fucking working on building a business, they'll be doing good. And then they meet a girl and they fucking literally delete all of it and just become like the boyfriend and they stop talking to
And
their
some
family.
and a lot of women do that too. They
Yeah.
lose their personality, they lose themselves in a relationship. You don't tend to your interests anymore because you're so like, I need this guy to like me. Like, I wanna be the best, whatever version of myself this guy's gonna like the most. You can't lose yourself because you're gonna get resentful, you're not gonna be happy, and you'll be, like, bitchy and cunty and not know why. It's like, yeah, it's because 'cause you're not doing your yoga. You're not doing pottery anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you could do something very simple. You could just invite the stripper over to watch you bang your wife. I mean, it'd be great. I mean, there's so many things
Yeah.
you can do. Film us. Be great. You don't have to touch anybody's other vaginas or penises. Thank you, Johan. I love you, dude. You're goated as hell. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Another pink boy. One red from a rainbow night, by the way. And that will also trigger a naked snake. Look at that. Disco Cobra, by the way, he doesn't want to be left out. With a pink boy. My God. Can you believe this shit? By the way, the last 5 streams in a row, we've been in the top 10 in the entire country in super chats,
Wow. How do
with
you even know that?
3 of them being in the top 3, by the way. It's a website called Playboard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked. It really helps you keep track. And look, I'm pretty much ruined as a human being. And when I worked retail for 13 years, like hyper cutthroat retail. I was in field management positions and
Where'd you
management.
work? Were you a folder?
Yes, I was. I worked at GameStop for 11 years. Everything
Oh,
from like part-time to store manager and almost district manager. I was a shrink lead, which means I pretty much traveled to every single store like every other week. But
you're a shrink lead, so you were always in cold water.
it was sad. It was really sad, but it fell apart. And then I went to Walmart as a district manager for 2 years. And I am hyper focused on ranking and numbers.
Oh, that's a typical man thing, though.
And so, like, dude, I am all about like I follow that shit. I follow trends, and I love watching it, and I love it's fun to me, man. This is how I've always done shit, and I can't help it because retail drilled it in my damn brain. Like,
Yeah, you're just like
every week.
gamifying it. I guess I
Yeah.
see why that's fun.
Thank you, Johan. Thank you, Disco. I love you guys. As always, giant supporters of mine. They're always good to me. I really appreciate you guys. And don't forget Kristen McGough on Golf. Says, just working as a bouncer gives you hundreds of opportunities. If you can't control yourself in a
Ooh.
relationship, what does being in the military change the rules? So, look, I'm trying to look at it from the other perspective because I feel like it's not black and white. Like, you're with a woman for 20 years and your opportunities go from 0 to 1 billion, like overnight. Man, you would have to have the self-control of almost a demigod, like no joke. Like, because the situation has changed now. There is a reason why every hyper famous lawyer, hyper famous NBA player, hyper famous celebrity is not monogamous. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could probably recommend anything for a woman, especially, don't marry or date somebody that looks like nerdy and like below average. Because if that motherfucker hits the
Because
gym,
they'll have a crazy come up.
bro, if that son of a bitch has a glow up, you're fucked. Because they're gonna be used to not having any opportunity, and then all of a sudden girls looking at him and they will not be able to stop that. They'll be like, yeah, I'm fucking her, fucking her, fucking her, fucking her, 100%. You know what I'm saying? The best thing you could probably do is try to get it out of your system, like Chrissy said. Clap as many cheeks as fucking possible until you get married. And then maybe you won't have that like thing in the back of your mind. It's hard to turn off for me though. I see an ass cheek and I'm like, oh, thank you, Kristen McGough. I love you. Tristan, men used to love to get the poos. Women use poos to get the love. I use money to get beer and chicken wings. Hell yes. Hell yes. Let me go back, Tristan. I love you, dude. Appreciate you. There's a few green boys that I completely skipped over because there was pink boys flying in my face. Zach says, Chrissy, how did Zia's chocolate taste?
A little sour, a little melty.
I would eat Zia's ass for sure. You're talking about like actual chocolate?
I did a chocolate whipped cream bikini on her and it was melting and she had her legs together. So it was pooling like at her crotch area. So I just like stuck a finger in.
Oh my God.
Like any good friend would do.
No wonder she made $700 that stream. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you. Slagulus says 2 for the goon, but stomach pancakes for Crazy. Thank you, Slagulus. I appreciate you. Theodore says, close from the Christmas party. Thank you, my friend. Chris Benoit, who killed his whole family, says, personally, I love having a wife and kid. Couldn't imagine living without them. Don't know what I'd do without them. Of course, Chris Benoit. Thank you.
Aww.
Every super chat for like a year has been like something like that from him. God. The Florida farmer says, my ex did the same thing, Cody. One day just left and never saw her again. Devastated me, dude. Dude, I think we've talked about this before, farmer. It is unbelievable.
That's horrible.
It's terrifying. I would almost rather her being like, yeah, I cheated and I'm getting married to somebody else. That would have probably made it easier, to be fair. Not knowing for like years was fucked up. Thank you, Florida farmer. And never really knowing.
I just feel like that happens like when there's enough space in your relationship for you to even like begin to fall in love with somebody else. It's like you've already checked out of your relationship, like for that space to even be created.
Yeah. I agree. It's just the biggest part of it is being able to tell or have signs. And when you don't, oh, fuck. It's like a ticking time bomb. Mock of Reality says everyone or most men have that novelty complex. Go listen to Eddie Murphy's same old cracker set. He wasn't lying. Wasn't lying, Mock of Reality. Where's the other blue boy? Slagless. How did GameStop have shrink? Games don't spoil. Yes. We did. Did you know Walmart last year had $3 billion in shrink? $3 billion. GameStop during its most profitable year in 2015 made $400 million of liquid like fucking operating profit. 400 million operating profit. 400 million. Walmart last year had $3 billion in shrink. That's freaking crazy, bro. It's crazy. 100 Rake and Not, by the way. Slaglust, I love you. Mountain Dew Ramen says emotions don't work well in the modern age of instant communication in 24/7, 365 global economy. Well, Mountain Dew Ramen, thank you, my friend. By the way, if you were ever going to have a conversation with your spouse or girlfriend about something like this, you do it in fucking person. You never do that. You can't read tone over text.
No,
You absolutely never do that. Mountain Dew Ramen, love you. Theodore says, Rebar said, you're in big trouble. Good. Thank you, Theodore. I appreciate you. Patrick says, what the F is shrink? Shrink is unexpected loss. So, like if somebody that works there steals a computer, or like maybe somebody accidentally threw it away, that's going to be like $700 in shrink, right? And then it just adds up. If somebody steals something, so that's why they experience
like 2 inches in shrink. Like, man, I had faced 2 inches of shrink last night.
I don't even have 2 inches to shrink. No, that's the thing with like Walmart. They lost $3 billion in shrink, and it's I think almost 95% of it came from
looting.
Yeah, from Oregon and New York.
I mean, they're closing. Target's closing stores. CVS is closing stores.
Did you see what Walmart's doing instead of closing stores?
Locking everything away.
Well, yeah. Well, they already
not letting black people in.
Yes. No. They are putting local police stations in the Walmarts now.
Genius. They probably still won't do anything, but that's a nice idea.
Imagine you like slap your baby mama and you get arrested and they're taking you in and they pull up to Walmart and they start walking you in.
That's a great idea. I'd be like, we kind of need some milk. We need razors.
On your way back from the store, Daryl, make sure you grab on your way back after you get let out, get some milk, please. It's like, all right, honey, going in to get booked, stay overnight in Walmart. That sounds like a fucking nightmare, like dystopian, no joke. Matt himself says, girl I'm with has 2 boys, 12 and 13. Dad exited the picture at birth. Kids love having me around. Me and the lady love each other 100%. We have a very happy household. Red Pill doesn't accept that. And that's a fantastic situation, Matt. And that's what everybody should strive for. The issue is, this is what always pains my fucking thought process. It's the fact that, like I said, you can't read somebody's mind. Like, you could be fucking so happy and like everything's great, and then she's like, deuces, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you become that guy in chat that's has the ham banana as profile picture,
right?
You know? So
everyone loves that guy.
We love you, he's my boy. No, and that's one of my friends. I won't name him. He probably wouldn't even notice if I did anyway. But I had a friend, and we were like 30, I think, and he started dating a girl when he was like 18 or 19. And we were all the same age. And I was 18, 19 too. And he started dating a girl, and she had 3 kids. She was like 24. She was like a little bit older than him. He was like 19, 20, I think, and maybe 21. And then 10 years passed. We're like all in our 30s now, or we had just turned 30. And he like raised those kids for 10 years. And they're all like teenagers now, like 11, 12, 13, 11, 14, 15. And like always posting pictures like with him. He's like their stepdad. And she fucking left one day and was like, she didn't leave. She was like, get the fuck out of my house. Because she found somebody else. And like he said it was like completely random. And she kicked him out of the house. And he never saw those children again that he raised.
See, lack of communication.
Oh God, it's terrifying. Makes you want to die just thinking about it. Zach Red Bar is watching gay porn. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I do that every night. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you. Rake and Not over on Rumble. Dude, Rumble is competing with Rumble's been competing with YouTube so often now. It's actually kind of staggering.
They're having a little bit of a glow up.
Yeah. Rake and Not with a $50 Rumble round. Oh my God. Let's get that Nega State, boys. Also, Chrissy, when are you coming down to Arizona for a comedy show?
I would love to come to Arizona. It's been on my to-do list for a couple of years now. I gotta figure out like what venues to like target, but I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, I'll be your 5-minute opening act.
Ooh, are you in Arizona?
No, I'm in Alabama.
Oh, right, Alabama.
Yeah, if you do Birmingham or Huntsville, I'll do it.
Okay, cool.
Or like Nashville, maybe, because that's like an hour away. So Good to go. I'm not, but I will not be going 8 hours. Like I think Nick, what is the date for you and Nick? Nick's going to do it.
October 21st in Minnesota.
Oh my god, that's gonna be fun. He better come up with something.
I'm excited.
He's just gonna step up there and just like awkwardly like say some slurs. That's what I see.
He'd fit right in.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful. Thank you. Hey, Patrick Power, how you doing? Damn, that's weird. My nickname is Arizona. I'm down to have you come to me.
What if it's all over my stomach?
Yeah, stomach pancakes, baby. What a great time. You know what's something you can't avoid? Because you were like saying you like making your dude come on his stomach. If you climb up top and you just wreck his ass, you know.
What do you mean?
You climb up on top, obviously. And
Okay, yeah.
You just like are very well trained and just destroy him, and he just blows. Like you're gonna when you get up. I've had the situation where they would like get up and release, and that shit just like fucking.
Well, you have to have a catch plan. You have to which yeah. Let's just say we haven't figured out. And yeah, you got to have a plan.
Yeah,
catch plan.
Make sure you catch it. What's up, Exeter girl? How you doing? Two of my favorite people.
Exeter girl.
How you doing? She's been on my show a lot. She's great.
Love her.
I might do my show with Zia Sunday. I'll have to ask her what she's doing. But
yeah, are you guys doing like regular shows together now?
Yeah, every Saturday we do Saturday Night Camel Thoughts.
Oh,
and it's
cool.
been great. We've been having so much fun. But I have to race Saturday, and I won't be back till Sunday, like midday. So I'd have to do it Sunday maybe. But I'm also going to be dead because it's hot. I'm in a race car all day. I have to take like 4 liquid IVs, and I am dead.
A liquid IV before, after?
Like twice before.
What's in there? Vitamins?
It's like, I don't have one laying around. It's like.
Do you get it rectally?
Electrolytes? I wish. No, you just drink it. But it's awesome. It's awesome. It like makes me survive.
Is it what people get when they're very hungover and they're bougie and in Vegas and they just like have someone come to their room and hook up an IV bag?
Yeah, that would be even better. A liquid IV is just you just put it in water, but it's you can drink a liquid IV before bed, take 4 ibuprofen, drink a liquid IV, and you were like almost blackout drunk, and you'll wake up with no hangover. It's like
wow.
So I've been doing that. I do that a lot when I'm at the racetrack. I'll liquid IV twice, run all day. The race will start at like 7 p.m. and I'll be in the car for a couple hours, and it's like 140 degrees, 150 degrees in the car. And then I'll get out and I'll take a little bit.
Yeah, you probably sweat out a ton of electrolytes.
Oh yeah.
What happens if you have to pee in the car?
You just piss yourself.
What? Really?
Yeah.
But it's probably all water at that point.
Yep. So you can almost, I'm pretty sure every single race seat manufacturer has like drainage ports for it.
You're probably sitting on a big pee pad like they have for dogs.
Yeah, there's just holes, and you'll just piss out, and then it'll go into the.
Like, is it like a Flintstones car where you just pee out the bottom?
Basically,
just, like run over it,
because it's not like completely sealed off. Like if you drop liquid in the bottom of like the floor of that car, it'll find a way out because you got G forces running everywhere.
Fascinating, right?
It'll get out, yeah. So I've never had to do that because I always do my due diligence, and even if I don't have to piss, I will piss right before we're called to our cars.
And it's extra motivation to not be in last place because it turns into like a human centipede situation where you're driving into everybody's
pissing on your face. Yeah. Damn, it's so cool out here. Zach, Chrissy, you have a great writer's brain. I'm a fan.
Oh, thanks, Zach.
Well, that's why she's a comedian, bro.
Wow, that's like the best compliment you could give a person.
She's an official comedian. Oh, well, that's the best compliment you can give a woman. Say
anything about their brain. Yeah.
You're so smart. I've never met somebody that's so insightful and and has so much initiative and can figure out problems. You're such a smart person. I've never met a smart girl like you. And they're like, okay, well, my underwear's off. So
then I would know that they were bullshitting.
Yeah. I've no shit. I'll never forget this shit. I was I'm not gonna name the person, but I was like taking a shower or some bullshit, and there was a girl, and I, the running joke is I have a tiny penis, and I was taking and I do, like, that's not a joke, by the way, it's real.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine.
And I remember taking a shower, and this girl sees my penis, and she's like, "Bro, your dick is massive. Like, you're a liar. Your dick's so huge." And I know for a fact that she's saying this just to try to impress me. And I'm like, "Bro, shut up." Like, it's like 2 inches. You're not fucking fooling anybody. You know what I'm saying? Why do girls do that? Bro, you ain't gonna make me feel better.
So wait, what was the moral of the story? This person you think was saying it to make you feel bad or saying it
100%.
to make you feel good?
Well, saying it was big to make me feel good. Like you said, like men will, they're
Maybe
bullshitting
it
if
was. Maybe she's only been with Asians.
maybe that is true. That is true. But like, men will say women are smart and insightful to impress them, and women obviously will just say you have a giant penis when you don't. So they'll only say it's small after they stop hanging out with you. Mount Dew Ramen says, use depends, dude. Even my broke ass Marine buddies were able to afford them. Well, you don't. So here's why you don't do that in a race car.
Extra weight.
Yes, that's a great point. But so if you piss your pants and you don't have drainage, and maybe you have a diaper on, whatever, what have you. I'm sure people have tried that in the past. The car gets so hot that liquid will start to boil, and you don't want it boiling in your asshole cheekies.
Oh my god, you'll have like piss tea, like
Yeah.
hot piss.
Yeah. So there was a famous case in like I think the 90s, maybe or late 80s. Mark Martin. This was when they started doing this, by the way. Mark Martin. They would just piss themselves. That's obviously they're in their car way longer than I am. They're in their car for like 6 hours sometimes. So they piss themselves. Obviously, it's a very normal occurrence. Well, back in the day, like he had an issue with his car, and his car was like running real hot, firewall exposed. Something happened, and his piss started boiling in his seat, and he had to like get out of the car, park it, and fucking like run. And he had to go to the hospital. He had like 3rd-degree burns on his ass and everything.
Wow, he did that to himself.
Yep, he did it to himself. So they started making drainage for all race seats after that point. So you just piss, it'll fly out somewhere. How does it get through the fire suit? The fire suit's just fabric. It's not like a spacesuit or something. It's like it'll go through fabric. It just the fabric keeps fire out. Not piss.
Keeps the
Not
piss
a piss
in.
suit. It's a fire suit, not a piss suit. You got your piss suit on, bro? No. Get your fire suit on. By the way, guys, we are 60 from Naked Snake. We're closing in. We got probably about 20, 30 minutes left, but we're closing in. I'm having so much fun talking. We talked about so many good things. I do want to talk about Martina Markota because I have no idea what's going on with it. So I've been seeing this shit pop up everywhere, and I don't know what it is. And I want you to explain, who is this person? Why is Brittany Venti getting like, I keep seeing her and Brittany Venti like going at it. Like, what's going on?
I met Martina, gosh, maybe like 10 years ago. We were both on a show called The Nearly Naked Lady Hour, and she was like one of the burlesque acts, and I was doing comedy. I don't know if yeah. They were like I don't know if it alternated comics and burlesque. I think it did. And I've known of her for so long, and she's very like elegant, beautiful, like really I always like have appreciated burlesque dancers. And she really stood out because she was beautiful, and most of the burlesque girls are very overweight and kind of obnoxious and blue-haired. And I just like appreciated like the craftsmanship on her costumes, and they were like really original. I hadn't seen anything like it. And then didn't kind of hear much about her. I got way more into stand-up. And then kind of discovered Brittany Venti maybe 2020 when she was still living in New York, like became friends with her. She joined CAMELCAST, and hadn't really heard anything about Martina in that time. And then I think I learned about this video that Brittany made after we became friends, but I guess she did like a super cut of Martina talking like on every podcast she's ever done, talking about like how special her blood is, just like zero humble. And that's the thing, is when you are a beautiful woman, you got to be fucking humble about it, okay? Because like the internet and the world love to hate on a cocky, good-looking they just love to hate on a good-looking chick, but if you're cocky about it, like, oof, okay, get ready. And she just put together this kind of like masterful supercut of her bragging about her special blood, how has angel blood, that she's a different type of human, and like crazy shit that, like, not even tongue in cheek, with a sense of humor about it. She believes that she's a special different kind of human, and talking about how great and successful she is or was. And then I think during that time, I think during 2016, she maybe got a bit canceled from the burlesque community for being MAGA, for being like an out Trump voter. And then I kind of like became reacquainted with her. I think I had her on my podcast like in 2020 or 2021. And so I forget, at one point Brittany made this like supercut video. And it's also her bragging about being on billboards and magazines like over and over and over again. Like there's a way to talk about your success, and there's a way not to talk about it. And she just like made herself out to be like so unaware and like really thinking she's hot fucking shit, and all like beauty, success, everything in life is so fleeting. And instead of coming from like a grateful place, she just was like on her fucking high horse. And I guess this video was like pretty devastating because it showed her as she truly is or was, which is like just a very pompous, arrogant person who is kind of like a bit out of touch, I guess. And I liked her because she had like a cancellation story, and I had remembered her from like 10 years ago. And I just was like, I had her on my podcast to talk about like, yeah, anyone sort of canceled by the left, like I feel that, like that happened to me as well. So, but I guess I guess after this video came out, Martina said it was like devastating to her marriage. And now she's brought in the fact, I guess. And I don't know. I found out just this week that I'm blocked by Martina, which I was shocked by because I haven't mentioned her in years, but since I had her on the podcast. So I think it's just because I'm friends with Brittany that I get the block, as did Nick Markota. And she just sort of continues to be not self-aware, and she's become kind of a lol cow at this point. Like, she's saying things like the stress of dealing with Brittany Venti has corrupted her breast milk, and like things that are just so easy to make fun of, and like it's solely Brittany's fault that she's stressed out. And it's like, at this point, it's like, dude, if you can't take haters, don't be an online person. Don't be an internet personality. Get off the internet. If you can't handle your haters at this point as a grown-ass woman, like, you're not cut out for this. Like, you can no one's forcing you to be here. You can log off tomorrow and be a mom and be a wife, and your life is going to be great, probably, because I think she lives in Manhattan. Like, her husband must have a really good job. But she's just been kind of, I feel like, just from the screenshots of tweets that I've seen, is like she's obsessing about Brittany, will do anything to get her to delete these videos. Now 2 videos. She's made another video. And she just seems a bit unhinged, and she's using her child. Like, there's people who kind of like use their child to get what they want, and it's not about her being a mom. It's like she's saying, "Oh, but I have a child." You know what I mean? Like, I think about the guy on the Titanic that picked up a kid and was like, "But I have a child. Let me on the lifeboat." That's kind of how she's being.
She's all I have.
And oh, I just don't want my son to know about this. And it's like, girl, you're fully engaged in this, and like, and she's basically Streisanded herself, because a lot of people didn't know about these videos or this beef until she escalated it and kept talking about it. So it's a combination of things. But Brittany is like, she's autistic, but she has a knack. She's like a bloodhound for bullshit. Like, she's very good at like sniffing out bullshit and inconsistencies. And if like you're not actually who you say you are, or you're pompous, arrogant, like, she will sniff you out. And like, if she gets her fucking fangs into you, like, good luck with that.
Yeah. So you know what's weird about this? I've seen this name pop up, and that's why I was asking you about it. It was like maybe 2 years ago. This lady followed me on Instagram. This Markota person, and she had like a check mark on Instagram, and I was like, who the fuck is this? And she messaged me, and like small talked for like a few messages, and then we didn't talk after that. And I was like, who is this person? And then now it was a few months ago where I saw her name. Like she had some spat with somebody a few months ago on Twitter. And now I'm seeing it again. And I'm like, who is this person? And like, why did she message me? And why is like all this shit burning down? So I just wanted to know who the fuck this was.
Oh,
Like,
and also, like, for no reason, like, brought Anna, that Star Wars girl, into it, like, was saying, "Oh," like, and I'd noticed Anna, it's always interesting to notice the people that we trigger online.
yeah,
Anna seems to trigger beautiful women who don't wanna be recognized for their beauty, but wanna be recognized for their talent, because Anna is slamming, she's gorgeous, but she'll do a cosplay calendar, she does it the right way, she doesn't do OnlyFans, but she's, like, a legit artist, she is, like, a legit part of the fandom or whatever, like,
yeah,
she has, philosophical, like, deep conversations about, like, how these franchises have been ruined, over the years, and she's very smart, and she triggers women who have made money off their body and maybe coasted off their looks, whereas, like, I don't think Anna's ever coasted off her looks. Like,
yeah,
sure, she uses them to her advantage. So I think that's why Martina is triggered by her, and she was, for no reason, out of nowhere, was putting down Anna's art. "Oh, my art is better than hers." Like, kind of nowhere out of nowhere, just shitting on Anna, and then part of this, I guess, second video that Venti made was that she got a hold of Martina's comic book, which is just one big self-insert. It's about, like, this canceled burlesque dancer has it so hard, it's
yeah.
again, another example of arrogance, lack of being humble, like, continuing to, like, pat themselves on the back. So, I think Venti's just, like, holding up a mirror to that,
Yeah,
who she is, and she doesn't like that. She doesn't want people to see her that way.
I also think the most important thing about Brittany is Brittany has the Masterson personality trait. Maybe it's not a personality trait. Maybe it's just a tactic, or maybe it's something she enjoys. But when she sees someone gets pissed about the work she's doing, it makes her so inspired and motivated to do it times 1,000. And Dick Masterson, one of my friends, and a lot of people are real pissed at this guy, and because of the Air July shit, and like it's so obvious, especially knowing Dick, like it's so obvious that people getting pissed is what inspires and motivates Dick to do more. And Brittany Venti has that kind of same thing where she'll make maybe a video about Pearl or a video about the manosphere of that one guy, and when they respond and they're mad, she's like, "Fuck, I'm about to make 100 more, bro. I'm gonna go fucking hard as fuck." And I get it. I can totally kind of see. I kind of understand. It's just I don't want to be involved in a bunch of drama. Like it, I could see how it would be enticing.
You also know how to deal with trolls. Like, if someone was doing that to you, you'd
Yes,
probably just gray rock them and mute them and not pour gasoline on it.
that's what I do. Yeah, if somebody, well, to what I usually do, if the like comedic timing is right, I'll like agree with them and have fun with it.
Right, which
But
is
I
a
would
great
never,
way to de-escalate.
right?
Like,
I would
"Yeah, you're right."
never watch. I do that. There was a guy that would only made hate videos about me for like 2 years, and he would like dox me, send stuff to my address, got me swatted once, and I never really cared. I thought it was kind of whatever, kind of funny. And I never watched one of his videos, never did any of that. And then after the swatting, I was like, all right, we got to get the FBI involved and do stuff like that. And then he even ended up deleting everything. To this day, I don't really know what happened. YouTube came at him and he fucking disappeared for like a year. And then he slowly started coming back. Every once in a while, he'll say something in chat. I'll see him on his main account that was not the real one, or not the fake ones. He has an actual account that has like 10,000 subs that he used to put content on. The non-problematic one. And he, every now and then I'll see him in chat and he'll say something. He'll be like,
Wow.
"Oh, you're just e-begging." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
Yeah, we all have people who are, like, just up our asses,
Yep.
and, it really depends, like, sometimes I like to make an example out of somebody, especially if it's somebody from my past, like what I was talking about before, like, "Oh, you've changed." And I'm like, "I haven't even thought about you in 10 years since
Yep.
Improv 201." And then I'm like, "Time for a quote tweet, Brooke. Okay, you're
True.
making this about you? You don't even know me. We haven't spoken." Like, "Oh, Chrissy's really changed."
Dude, I
Okay,
had
there we go.
an old high school like acquaintance do that to me recently. And it was on Facebook, which I never used. But this dude messages me, and haven't talked to him since like 8th grade or 7th grade or 9th grade. I quit school in 10th grade, and I hadn't talked to him since then. And he
Your parents let you quit school in 10th grade?
they didn't let me. I just did it.
What did you do? Did you get a job?
Yeah. I started working at GameStop and
Okay.
worked there for 11 years. I got my GED immediately. Like the next Tuesday, I got my GED. But no, I quit school because I stopped going for like a month. And then the school called my parents, who did not know about this, and told me that
Where were you going instead of school?
to my friend's house, and I was just sleeping all day. I
Wow.
was just done with it, man. I was just done with it. I didn't want to. I hated school. I thought it was the most worthless, pointless thing
You
I
didn't
ever.
like any of your classes or any of your teachers?
It all seemed like a formality that I was not interested in anymore. And I just stopped going. And then the school called my mom and said, "Hey, your son hasn't been to school for like a month, so
Wow.
you can he doesn't have to come back." And I was like, "Okay." And then I went and got my GED. My mom was really mad, but I got my GED immediately, and then I started working, and it never
All right,
really,
good for you.
it never actually had an effect on me. I never saw any negative aspects of quitting school.
You didn't go into debt paying for a bunch of college.
Never went to college either. No, I just started working.
Good for you.
It all worked out. But yeah, I don't really remember the original point. But yeah, quit school. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Oh, no, right, because I was like, "You quit school."
Yeah, what the fuck were we talking about? What the hell?
Shrinkage?
No, that was like 2 hours ago. I don't remember. Who? Somebody in the chat will say.
Oh, trolls? Was it about trolls?
It may have been. Oh yeah, the fucking guy. Okay, so the guy on Facebook. There we go. We're back. Guy on Facebook messages me. Haven't talked to him. I'm like 32. This was recently, man. I was 33. This is this year. Messages me and was like, "Hey, dude, like I saw your YouTube channel. You're doing awesome." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." And keep in mind, I was never really friends with this guy. He was kind of like a bully, he was kind of like the guys that would sit behind the bully and laugh and not do anything. And I was like, "Yeah, dude, thanks." And he was like, "Dude, like you should I didn't respond after that, but he said we should start a show together and like you should let me come on and we'll like do a show." He was like, "And I can be your
Oh,
manager."
great.
He's like, "I can be your manager for YouTube." Keep in mind, I've already been doing it for 4 years at this point. He said, "I'll be your manager and everything." And I didn't even read the message because I don't use Facebook, man. And suddenly I got a message like a month later from the same guy. I just noticed it popped up. It was like so and so. I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot about the guy. I'll like keep the conversation. I'll talk to him." I clicked on it and I guess he got drunk and he was like, "You think you're hot shit, motherfucker." And he's like, you're like, "You ignore my message." And he's like, "Your fucking channel's trash." And
Acting like a chick.
yeah, and he was like, you take your fucking shirt off and you're just robbing people and you're just an e-beggar, you're a piece of shit." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I screenshotted it and posted it on Facebook. I was like, "Yeah, so this is a guy I went to high school with, and he asked if he could just like
Yes.
hijack my business." And I didn't respond, and he went insane. I was like, "Fuck this guy, and don't trust him if you're friends
That's
with him."
perfect.
And dude, it got like 100 likes, which is like never happens on fucking Facebook. And everybody was commenting. They're like, "Yeah, fuck that guy. Holy shit, I know that guy. Holy shit." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck that guy." Like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Like,
He did that all by himself.
he
Yeah.
did all of it by himself. What a dumbass. Squid says the funniest part of the whole Martina deal is Martina is the one making all the fuss and constantly talking about how horrible Brittany is. Meanwhile, Brittany made one video 4 years ago and one recently.
Yes.
That's how it works. Streisand and your damn self.
She is living rent free.
Streisand and her damn self. Squid. Thank you, Squid. I love you. Appreciate you for your gold boy. Dan Halen. Her husband was Paul Joseph Watson's carbon copy replacement for Rebel Media back in the day. I know that guy. I know that guy. Paul Watson. Thank you, Dan Halen. I appreciate you, baby. Patrick says stealing from us. The fuck? Yeah, so you'll see this in my chat all the time. You'll see it in Chrissy's chat. You'll see it in every creator's chat. There's people that will come in and they will claim that since people super chat you, you are a e-begging robber and you're a piece of shit, and all the people super chatting you are stupid and retarded. Yeah,
Which
that
means
happens.
for every hour at their job that they're not productive, they should really give back some of that money.
Yeah, for
If
example,
you're saying that, you should be doing that.
yeah, and I mean it's happened this stream. It was in the last stream. I think the last stream was a lot of them. And there was a guy basically, if anybody super chatted, he would like tag them in the chat and call them like stupid. And you're like, you're fucking throwing your money away. What a piece of shit. And I'm like, dude, no one has to super chat. Never asked anybody to do that. Never will. I'm forever grateful that people choose to support me that way. It's insane. So thank you. But still, like, that's like me going to McDonald's and going up to the register and yelling at the person for working there. You're taking these people money for Big Macs. Like, what a piece of shit. Like, you should be fucking ashamed.
Right. You know, you're
just
making them obese. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You're a piece of shit. It's so stupid. So, you know, people are like, you're an e-bagger. And I'm like, well, yeah.
If anything, it's more comparable to strippers. It's like you're just tipping someone for their entertainment.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. We're all grifters. It's such an overused word. It's the weirdest thing in the word. Grifter is I kind of like the word. It kind of sounds nice. It's like the F slur. It just sounds nice. Grifter. It's lost all its meaning, kind of like groomer has now.
And racist and
that shit stopped in like 2002 having any meaning. But so like grifter is the weirdest word because people that are quite literally like the definition of a grifter will quote tweet other people that are creators and call them grifter. And I'm like, we're all grifter. Like, we all have a show and we all say shit and we have conversations, and the end goal for all of us that do this as a job is a monetary value. Like, I'm sorry, the Quartering is not putting out 27 videos a day because he's trying to have fun. It's because
I'm sure he has fun doing it. I'm sure it's like, we'll have a choice. I'm sure he prefers to do that than whatever day job he had before.
Exactly. So we're all grifters, like, in the sense of the word. So grift means scam. Well, I don't like I said, I think the word is overused and doesn't mean anything.
Scam. That's like saying you're scamming the people that you're entertaining. That's actually shaming the people who are fans of you, who enjoy your content. So it's like, are you calling them stupid, that they don't enjoy you, that they're dumb for giving you money?
It's not like I take off my shirt or anything. Speaking of taking off my shirt, go take a piss break, Chrissy.
I have to be so bad.
Do it. I just read your thing. I was like, Chrissy's gonna take a piss break for 2 seconds. And I'm going to go over some of these Rumble rants and super chats. I want to thank everybody for all the support. Chrissy will be back in like a minute, and then I'm going to go piss because I'm about to die too. So thank you. So to clarify something, I said the word groomer is overused. It is. Every single person uses the word groomer now. And it's starting to get overused because now it's like if a 45-year-old man dates a 24-year-old, it's like, he's a groomer. And I'm like, she's 24. He's 40. What? They're both adults, and they're like really adult. They're like super adult. They're not even 18. They're like already have been adult for a long time. Like, no one groomed anyone. It's just people are just like groomer. That's just what people like to say. So that's why I say that. It's just too damn overused. It's just too damn overused. Speaking of that, we are one red boy away from a rainbow night on YouTube, but Rumble is kicking everybody's ass on YouTube tonight. Rumble's kicking everybody's ass on YouTube tonight, by the way. I really appreciate that. And by that, I mean, I'm going to pull it up here in a second, but we do have to talk about that. If you're 45 and you're dating a 24-year-old, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're in your 50s, though, you shouldn't be doing that. It's gross. Anyways, if you're in your 50s or specifically 39, stop. No, By the way, guys, it's an inside joke. Everybody in the chat, don't freak out. It's a joke. Jesus. What do you mean? I happen to be 50. Matt himself, with a red boy on Rumble. Has that ever happened? Oh my God. Rumble red boy, get naked. Thank you so much, Matt. I love you, and I appreciate my boys going hard for me today. Rumble, has there ever been a situation where there was a Rumble red boy and not a YouTube red? I don't think there's a big shift going on right now. The YouTube people keep it strong. With the Rumble been going crazy. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Appreciate you. And we're 18 likes to 500 with CHRISSIE MAYR tonight. Very happy CHRISSIE MAYR coming. We're closing in on the end here. I do have to drive very far tomorrow, but we're gonna have a lot of fun. We have a little bit left. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So get the hell on it, doggone it. Also, big shout out to my boy Cecil, who is also banned on Twitter. Make sure you show him some support. Hashtag save Cecil. Hashtag save Cecil. Hashtag free Camelot. Get on it, doggone it. I think everybody has forgotten, which is fine. It's 10% Dave L. That's the difference. 10%. God, I'm about to piss my pants, boys. I also had to pee, and then she messaged me. She's like, "Bro, I have to pee." And I'm like, "Fuck, I have to pee too. We all have to pee." I drank a Monster directly before this. Can you send me some pictures? Message me, Patrick, to make your message go to the top of Instagram, and I'll send you shit. I'll go take pictures right now when I get off. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna have Chrissy back. We got to do Naked Snake as well. We have Naked Snake coming because Rumble saved it. Not YouTube. Rumble saved it, by the way. Missing the YouTube red boy. You just said it costs money. I'm confused. What costs money? Free Camelot? Wait, hold on. What? Free Camelot? What are you talking about? I'm confused. I don't get your joke. Okay, just pee on the floor. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. No, my maid would get really pissed if I peed on the floor. But yeah, no, Rumble's making some waves. It's really fun to see, and I just hit 20,000 followers on Rumble. Finally, 20,000 after an entire 8 months of work. So hopefully, I can partner with Rumble a little bit more, and we can hit 100K. I'd love to hit 100K on Rumble. That's like my goal. My goal is always 100K. Like, I don't know what it is, but that 3-digit number just makes it feel like real. When I hit it on YouTube, it was like a weight off my shoulders, like completely nuked off my shoulders. The weight was gone. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you, Skate Tim. I love you. Appreciate you guys. You're not good enough, Tracy. Not good enough tonight. You sons of bitches. You let the trolls win that call you retarded for Super Chat. Oh my God. Thank you guys. Frosk is a loser. Yeah, remember Frosk Boosh? Yeah, Frosk is gone. Isn't that such a great thing? Thank God. Thank God.
She's gone.
We literally willed her out of existence. I'm so happy.
I wonder what she's doing right now.
Oh my God. Probably like her I don't know. Why is it, Chrissy, that women, you're like 40 or something, right? Yeah. I'm just kidding. I don't know how old you are. But I like to say that. I like to just do that with every woman I have on. So, why do women have nice skin, but for some reason, women, when they're lesbians, like they have short hairs, they always have really, really bad textured face skin. You notice that? Like Frost.
I haven't noticed that. I have not been up close to a lesbian in a while.
Frosk is one, and then that one chick that plays soccer, like her freaking texture of her face is looks like a 49-year-old man. Yeah. Okay, good. I got a good example. Ray Liotta. They all have Ray Liotta's like face skin.
Wow.
You know how like Ray Liotta?
I bet the femme ones don't.
You say fat?
The femme ones. I bet the femme.
Oh yeah.
The femme lesbians.
Yeah, it's the butch ones. Yeah, it's the butch ones. Why is that? Like, are they taking testosterone or something? Like,
gosh, I don't know. I think right. Maybe it is the butch ones because you're not you're just not in that feminine mindset of like self-care and like always wanting to like look your best to like you want to find yourself attractive, but you want your person or you want to attract a guy that finds you attractive. And lesbians, I guess they're just like, yeah, I guess I'm good with just this short haircut. And I'll just keep doing my tongue exercises, and I guess that's enough. And I have my Home Depot card.
I just I put face lotion on every day, man. Because I don't like my face when it feels like it's like stretching. Like I move my mouth and I can feel it. Like right here, I'm like, no, fuck.
Oh,
that.
Dry skin. Yeah.
I do. I put like face lotion on
in the winter.
Love it. I'm just like, I love it. So good. I put lotion on my whole body actually, but face lotion is the shit. I'm like,
there you go. So good beautiful. For you. That's more than a lot of men are doing.
Yeah, dude. I do it all.
Do it all. An exfoliator a couple times a week.
Yeah, except I saw like a Instagram reel, and it was like this very, very effeminate, like Middle Eastern guy, and he had like 900 products, and he was like straight, and he was like talking about like, this is the product I use for this, and this is the product I use for this. And he's like doing all this stuff, and I'm like, all right, you're going a little too hard.
He's probably being paid.
Going a little too hard. You look like we died in like wars. Like you need to like fucking
like men are supposed to be a little rough, you know.
Yeah, like I ain't shaving. I shave once every like 4 or 5 days. I'm just like fuck it. And if I don't, my beard's like it's outrageous. I couldn't grow them my whole life, and now I can. All right, I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna go pee now. It's my turn, and Chrissy Mayr is gonna tell you where you can follow her what
Oh,
shows she has
yes.
coming up, all the cool things. I'm gonna go pee. So we'll come back and do next.
Wow, this is trust right now.
Yes.
Camelot is leaving me with his stream.
Take
Who
it.
knows? I could just say the N word. I could say the F word. I could say
Please.
all my favorite words. Hello, friends. Hello, CAMELCAST. It's been a pleasure to hang out with you tonight, by the way. I think you're all just absolutely fabulous. Don't get too cynical. Don't be hardened by life. Okay, that's what she said. I'm going to be on the road. Next month, I'll be in Minnesota, October 21st. This is a show I was talking about that I'll be there with Markota at the Great River Bowl and Partners Pub, Saturday, October 21st in Sartell, Minnesota. Lila Hart will be featuring, and Nick Markota will be there as well. Then I'm back on Long Island, October 27th and 28th at the Brokerage Comedy Club in Belmore. Then back to Tampa. I love Tampa. A lot of kinky, weird people in Tampa. You're all sexual deviants. I'll be there Sunday, December 3rd at the Side Splitters Comedy Club. Then back to San Diego, the Whale's Vagina, first weekend of 2024. Friday, January 5th and Saturday, January 6th. I'll be back at the Mic Drop Comedy Club doing 3 shows, 1 Friday, 2 Saturday. That includes a nice little late show there. So for tickets, go to CHRISSIEMAYR.com. And as always, wait a second. Was I not showing my screen at all? Idiot. Oh, I can't present it on my own. Camelot has to present it. Oh, well. I basically just said everything that I said. It's just my website, CHRISSIEMAYR.com. Go there for tickets. Follow me on Instagram at CHRISSIEMAYRPod. My first one was banned, similar to Camelot, I guess. And follow me on Twitter at CHRISSIEMAYR, just like it's spelled right here. Boop, 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 boop.
I wish I had a Twitter.
Oh, no. Make a new one. Just make a new
I'll
one.
just get banned again, man. I got banned on
So?
Alt one too.
Persevere.
Dude, I was like,
What do you think George Washington would do if he were banned off Twitter? He would make a new one.
I got like 2,000 followers like in a day, and I was like, bro, we're doing it. And then it was dead. It was gone. And I was like, oh, fuck, they got me. It was the same people probably just mass reporting me. Probably some Discord full of furries. Let's get this bigot me. He doesn't like that we want to have sex with children. Yeah, it's pretty sad. It is. It's pretty sad. So you have shows coming up. What's your next show?
Minnesota.
That's it.
October 21st.
Wow.
Nick Markota and Lila Hart. I'm so excited. I'm also meeting the Steel Toe Morning Show guys, April and Aaron Imholt. They're out of Minnesota too. They're the ones helping me produce this show. So I'll be making appearances on their show that week as well. And I'm just so excited I've never been to Minnesota. I don't even know what to wear, what to do, how to pack.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I forgot Minnesota. I forget Minnesota exists every time people say the word Minnesota. I'm like, oh fuck, that's a state.
Yeah, it's a whole state.
There's like 4 states that I forget that are a thing.
Which ones?
I don't know.
I forget. Right. I forget Washington State. I forget.
I know that one because that's where all the billionaires live because tax breaks.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's Minnesota's one. I don't forget Utah because that's where the
Mormons are.
Latter-day Saints.
I used to forget all about Montana until all like the rich people started moving there.
Fucking Montana. That's a good one. I was like, yeah, I forgot about Montana. Oh man, no Delaware. I always remember Delaware because they spelled it wrong on the quarter for like the first like shipment of the quarters.
That's such a fun fact. I also forget about Rhode Island and I forget about Maine. What is Maine doing?
Yeah, I remember Maine just because it's like Maine. It's hard to forget the name Maine, and I don't forget Rhode Island because that's where the family lives in like Family Guy.
Okay.
Idaho, that's a good one, but Idaho, I used to joke about Idaho all the time when I was a kid because it sounds like Idaho.
Right. And potatoes.
Yes, potatoes are very
important. Wyoming. Good point, Monkey Man. Wyoming.
The reason I don't forget Wyoming is because there's a giant city in Wyoming that has my name, my first name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cody, Wyoming. It's hard to think of which ones I don't remember because I don't remember them. Montana and Minnesota are good ones. Definitely
Yeah.
Montana, I forgot about 100%.
A lot of them are not really standouts.
They don't do anything.
No.
Everybody knows about Alabama. We're like fucking number 1, bro. Alabama.
Yeah, number 1 Hick state.
Yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
Beautiful place. Except the property value is, or not property value. Well, yeah, that too, but property taxes are going through the fucking roof. The property taxes, when I remember when I first bought my first house when I was 21.
Humble brag.
My
brag time.
what? No, I was talking property tax. And oh my god, my property taxes were like $380 a year. And 7 years later, they were only $660 a year.
Whoa.
And then within 3 years, they've went up $1,600, $3,400, I think, and $8,000 now. Like it went up 1,600% in the last 10 years. 1,600%. That's unfucking believable. So nothing we can do about that. Jesus de Vila, I love you, my friend.
Jesus. Hola.
De Vila. Yeah, he dared to change his profile picture from Spider-Man one time, and I was like, "You better change that shit back right now."
What I was thinking.
I was like, "Why'd you do this? Change it back. You can't do this to me." Cecil says, "Hello, I'll be in the studio tomorrow." Hell yeah.
Yes, I will be filling in for Anthony Cumia tomorrow. So tune into the Anthony Cumia show on Compound Media at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on with Cecil. So you know it's going to be a hot show.
I can love Cecil. No, my core memory from Cecil now for the rest of my life will be standing across from each other at my kitchen island, plastered and eating beaver nuggets.
I love beaver nuggets. I love beaver twists.
Yeah, me and Cecil were just sitting drinking this bottle of Bullet, which I've since killed. Thank you, Cecil. He was like, "I have a gift for you, man," and he gave me and then he drank half of it. But
wow.
We drank almost all of it, like down to here, and we were eating beaver nuggets. And he's like, "Man, you gotta take these away from me, man." And he just keeps eating.
Those are just the plain corn ones, right? Or do you eat them like covered in anything?
They have like caramel on them or something, like caramel corn or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're freaking great. Thank you, Cecil. So yeah, that was my favorite memory of Cecil. He came to my house and we ate caramel.
Cecil's the best. He's a guaranteed good time. He's just somebody who's like comfortable in his own skin, just fucking fun.
Yeah.
Quick-witted as hell. Hilarious. Smart. Has lived a life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been places.
He's lived like 3 lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's lived like 3 of them lives. I know it when he puts his reading glasses on to read text. I'm like, oh yeah, he's lived a long time. He's like, oh, let me get these on. Hold on. Yeah, I know. You know what you can. You know how you can try to decipher Cecil's real age because no one knows what it is. Just watch him look at his phone screen. Because he'll do this whole thing. He'll pick it up and he'll go like this. Like, oh yeah, Cecil's like at least 73. He's like, oh my god. I love you, Cecil. Krista McGough says, "Isn't Minnesota where all the Norwegians ended up? Why? Because of the cold? Is that why?
That makes sense. Those are my people."
I'll never forget that time I was watching Nick stream on Locals, and he was in his hot tub and he had just icicles coming off of his whole face. Like all of his hair was icicles and everything. And I'm like, bro. And he's like, yeah, dude, Minnesota. And I'm like, this is crazy, dude. Crazy as hell. By the way, guys, I will be on Locals after this exclusively, only on Locals. We're talking about the sponsorship this weekend. We got sponsorship on all the race cars this weekend on my team. You're going to love the sponsor. I'll show the logo and the sponsor on my Locals tonight. And I already have the vinyl shipped to me. It's going to be hilarious. I'm kind of excited to see what people in the sport say because it is a little religious.
Do any of your fellow like race car driver friends know about your YouTube channel?
They all do. Yeah. I'll never forget. I got to the racetrack. Like this was probably in like May. I got to the racetrack. And I got out of the car, and it was nighttime or whatever. And I went to my hotel, went to sleep, came back the next day. And I was, hanging out with all the drivers. We have a lot of NASCAR drivers, like actual like NASCAR drivers that race in our series. We have ARCA champions. We have a lot of heavy hitters. And we get there. I get there and I walk up to the like crowd of people that are all kind of talking and kind of, just conversing. and they like half of them drive in like one fucking giant bus. It's like one of those RVs that's like $1 million. You know, they're all like big time race guys. They're all violently wealthy, and they have this giant RV that has like kitchen, showers, and all that. And they all ride in that together, like half of them.
Cool.
Because they all live in the exact same area. Because you know North Carolina is NASCAR, right? So, they were like, yeah, we were on our way up here and we watched that video you put out, and I'm like, what video? And he's like, your dating stories video, and it's like an hour long of me talking about my like worst dating experiences.
Wow.
And it's just my editor put a compilation together, and it's just dating experiences from me. And I'm like, holy shit, I say the most fucked up stuff in that video. And all these like dudes in their 50s that are like hyper religious are like watching my video talking about me smashing pissers and like women being fat as fuck. And they're all like, dude, it was great. We were laughing so hard. And I'm like, holy shit. I was like, am I going to get fired? Like, what's going to happen?
You probably feel like, to be young again.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Hey, Tennessee Mariner, how you doing? I got to do some Naked Snake before we get off here tonight. I will be on Locals after this. I'm going to go pee, drink something, and then jump on Locals after this. So make sure you guys follow me over there. The Locals pinned chat is there for Locals. Locals has been doing really well for me lately. It's pretty much taken my entire life up since Twitter's gone. It's the only thing I post on anymore is Locals. So if you want that feel, get on there. I will have all my race footage from this weekend. All my race footage will be on Locals. From my helmet camera and everything. So all pictures and everything. So get on it, doggone it. Now
you have a piss cam?
A piss cam. It just watches my penis just pissing. It'd be great. One question before we move on or before we end it. Do you agree with the fact that squirting is just pissing?
I feel like the components of squirt are primarily piss based.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's done in a different spirit. It's
Yes.
You're not like just letting it rip. Although some adult actresses do just pee for the camera. But no, you squirt from a different area that you pee, or at least it's under different circumstances. But I would say there's definitely urea in squirt.
Yes.
So is it entirely pee? No. Does it contain pee? Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I've researched this heavily, and I don't know what the hell is going on. It's like some weird government conspiracy, but when you like look up facts on it, it's almost like when you would look up COVID facts back in like 2020, and like everything's like a promoted ad from like why COVID is real and why if you don't think it is, you should need to go to an education camp right now. And I'm like, what? This is weird. It's like when you type in like the effects of like steroid use or like what steroids are best for like certain things, and 100% of what Google gives you is like anti-steroids ads. It's like why steroids is actually terrible and you should never consider it, and why you should do normal stuff to actually naturally increase your testosterone, stuff like that. It's like that with piss, like with fucking squirting. It's so weird.
There's definitely a lot of squirt apologists out there,
Yeah.
like a lot of squirt cope.
I found a scientific study where they tested squirt juice, and it was the closest I could find to somebody acknowledging like, what is in piss, like piss squirt piss. And it was like they tested it from like a biological level or like whatever chemical level, I don't know, microscopic level.
Imagine that's your job. You're wearing a lab coat. You have a clipboard.
Yeah,
I have to catch the squirt coming out of this young woman.
Yes,
and test it.
Yes. So 98% of squirt juice is bladder fluid. Now, the reason they used the term bladder fluid, I guess, was to try to not like identify with the squirt as piss people. But bladder fluid is piss.
Unless there's something else in there. Water, maybe?
Yeah. Well, that's the issue is the way you get large portions of squirt is by hyperhydrating. So if I was pissing, I drink like probably 8 glasses of water a day, maybe more. I take a liquid IV almost every day. I can't remember the last time I pissed, and it was like not like crystal clear. But I'm still pissing. It's not bladder fluid. It's I'm pissing. And that the whole point of getting
Dick water.
Dick water. Yes.
Sounds like a town in Florida.
Yeah. So that's the issue. Is like 98% is bladder fluid, and I'm like, well, what is in a bladder? And it's like
that depends on the person.
Yeah, it could be if you're hydrated, it's water, I guess. And I'm like, yeah, but then we're like splitting hairs, like. So technically, every time I piss, when I'm hydrated, I'm not pissing. I'm just bladder fluiding.
No, you're squirting.
Yes. See, men can do it too. It's all good. Equality at its finest. Mm-hmm. All right. It's time to do Naked Snake for the 220th time in a row. I'm going to do it in front of CHRISSIE MAYR. It's going to be beautiful. She can just watch me and dance, I guess, a little bit. It'd be great.
Supportive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. 220 in a row. We're 30 away from the 24-hour stream and 250 Naked Snakes in a row. We barely got it today. Thank God for Rumble and Rake and Knot and fucking Matt himself on Rumble going hard as balls. Matt himself with the only red boy tonight, and it's on Rumble. I don't think I've ever said that before. I don't think I've ever said that.
That's a Rumble. That's a red boy from Rumble. A Rumble red boy.
Yeah, they were the only red boy was from Rumble tonight. Not even YouTube. Matt himself got it done. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you. Let's do it. CHRISSIE gonna do Naked Snake? No, CHRISSIE's in a happy marriage.
I'm a married woman now.
She doesn't pull her boobs out for anyone.
You should have all tried this a year ago when I was just a wee engaged woman.
When I was just engaged and not entirely.
When I was simply betrothed.
All right, boys. It's that time again. You guys ready?
We're ready.
Because I'm ready for Naked Snake. Thank you. Tonight, it's dedicated to Johan Noxos and Matt himself, tied for the top dog spot. Love you guys. Let's do this shit. I'll have a new video probably Sunday or Monday. Unless I do that show with Zia. It's already filmed and edited. We'll go. It's going to be great.
You like Zia?
I love Zia.
But do you like her?
I love Zia. I like Zia. I love Zia. I'm just saying if Zia lived like down the road, I might marry her. I don't know.
Aww.
I might do it. All right. Let's pop this off. Let's do it.
Okay. Advance first.
Here we go, boys. You guys ready? Let's do this. Love you. Yeah. Here we go. You guys ready? First verse. In my time, there been nobody else.
You always play this song?
Oh, yeah. Cry. It's the way I fly to you. Monkey Man, first one. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Here we go. You ready, CHRISSIE?
Oh, I'm ready. You know, you should get on here as Leanne. She can do that too.
Thank you, Alan Jones. I appreciate you. You're goated. I love you. Here we go. The last chorus. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there be nobody else. Thank you, Alan Jones. Cry. It's the way I fly to you. Here we go. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. 220 in a row, boys. Can you believe this shit? Because
Nope,
I can't.
can't believe it. Wait, don't you drink something also?
We didn't get that far.
Oh, I thought that came with it.
Here it goes. Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much. 220 in a row. 30 away from the 24-hour Naked Snake stream. It's going to be wild. At 500 Naked Snakes, if we do make it, which is unfathomable, if we do make it, I think I'm going to do like a Naked Snake cover music video, and I'm going to go to Scotland and stand in like a castle and do Naked Snake and like have it all theatrical and stupid.
Yeah, have it like a Dan Vask music video.
Oh yeah, me and Dan Bass already talked about this. That's happening. That's really happening. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Thank you, Outlaw, too. For Steph, what the fuck? Oh, anyways, how you gonna donate to me and say for Steph? It's for me. Damn it. All right, boys. Please appreciate you guys so much. We did have, I think we had milk for 5 streams in a row, so it's very nice not having to do it for one day.
Wow, it's basically boozy eggnog.
Yeah, it's brutal. I think I did it with wine yesterday or the day before yesterday, and that about
wine and eggs.
It was not cool. It sucked. Orion Galaxy says local sub only. Locals is free to join, but to watch the streams and be involved in the private chats, it's $3 a month. I think $3 or $4. I don't know. $50 a year, $3 or $4 a month. Thank you guys so much. I will be live on Locals in about 10-15 minutes, so make sure you follow on there. I will put the link down here again. Make sure you guys do me a huge favor. Follow CHRISSIE MAYR.
Oh, shucks.
CHRISSIE MAYR's been fun. I watch CHRISSIE shows almost every time she's on. Of course, especially Simpcast, because you guys always talk about the most non-man stuff.
You should come do a Simpcast.
You just gotta ask me, bro. I'll do it.
Let's see. What about, oh my God, October 8th. Zia's on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there with Zia, of course.
Okay.
No, it's October 8th. I know October 8th. I'm going to see. I'm gonna go see. Well, I guess it depends on what time. Because I'm gonna go see House of 1,000 Corpses because it's getting a theatrical release for October 8th and October 11th. And I went and saw Rob Zombie recently, and I feel like I owe it to him.
So you can't do it on the 8th.
I can probably do it. It just depends on what time. I think I can probably go at like 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. to go to do the thing.
Okay.
So
it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's 8. So I mean, they also show it on the 11th. I think.
You can either do it with Zia on the 8th or maybe not with Zia on the 15th.
I would just put me down with Zia.
Okay.
I feel more comfortable in a room.
Yeah, you guys vibe. Yeah, you're
Zia's there.
You'll be in a safe space.
Makes me feel safe with their giant boobies. Like
I know the feeling.
Yeah, dude. All right. So I appreciate everybody so much. Make sure you do me a favor and like the Goofy stream on the way out. We're 50 from 600. Spam that bitch. Spam it hard. Spam it long. A lot of people hung out with us tonight, even though there was a goofy ass debate on. So I appreciate that. I expected it to be way lower with the debate on, and it was actually pretty smashing. So we had a couple hundred people on Rumble and 600-700 people on YouTube. Appreciate you guys so much.
Nice.
No, stop! I'm watching myself. Okay, I was trying to check the Rumble locks, and it started playing. Today, though, we gotta raid somebody sexy. Let's find him. Let's see who we're gonna raid. I was gonna raid Nick, but I think he's on with Elijah Schaefer tonight.
That's really great that you do that. I always intend to raid and then I completely forget. I should have a little sticky note on my computer that says raid. Don't forget to raid.
You just boomer so hard and you just forget that it's a beautiful option for all of us to support our favorite boys. I can never raid D-Day Cobra. I think he turned it off because I'd have raided him before, but then I think he turned it off. Yeah, it's not able to raid anymore for some reason.
Unbelievable.
I used to raid him, I feel like, all the time. Maybe I didn't. But I think we'll go back in time and we'll raid. I think we'll raid King Queso. He's my boy. He was like the first person I ever raided on YouTube.
Is that Spanish for king cheese?
I hope so. Because I love fucking queso, bro. God, not the guy. I like the juice. I don't fuck queso.
You like to put it on your stomach?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you what, man. Oh, if cum tasted like queso, I would suck everyone's dick in like a mile radius for sure. If it tastes like queso, Chrissy, you're like making a face. I'm like,
I'll eat it with chips. Yeah.
No, dude, like if it tastes like, bro, why couldn't something cool like that happen? Like, why couldn't Jesus?
Probably
like,
because
hey,
it's not ultimately meant for like oral consumption. It's meant for the ultimate viscosity for sperm travel.
I feel like there should have been updates. Like, for example, like you know how like you update computer games, vehicles,
For
like
flavors.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's like supercars where they'll be like, hey, you know, your car has 450 horsepower. We're updating the ECUs and it'll put it at 490 for
What
free.
bodily fluid tastes good though?
None of them.
So
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, Jesus, after he was like crucified, like he goes back and he's like, all right, look, I got some notes. And like, this is what we should change going forward.
I see it as eating your vegetables. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't taste good, but it's good. It's good for you. It's gonna make everyone around you happier if you just eat it.
Yeah, and there's no cleanup either. Just fucking
Yeah.
just take it. Just take all of
Just
it.
make your dad happy and swallow. You know what I
I'd
mean?
do it. I don't give a fuck. Like if it was girls, like if women had the like load, I'd fucking take it, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a team player attitude.
Yeah. I mean, like why would I not be expected to take the load? If it was like if the shoe was on the other foot, I mean.
I'm glad it's the way it is because I think men would not be inclined to swallow a woman's load. I think they'd be disgusted by that. You know, you have people like, who's that DJ that doesn't even go down on women? What the fuck is his name?
There's a lot of people like
Is
that.
it Wiz Khalifa? No, it might be somebody else. Who?
They're like weird, dude. I love fucking
Who?
stuff on my face and that shit.
Who?
It's warm.
DJ Khaled won't go down.
Oh, well, dude, he's shaped like a basketball. So who cares?
Yeah, he's just like, ooh. And women are generally more accommodating, more like suck it up, literally. So I think it was a good choice by God to be like, okay, women are the ones that deal with the cum.
Yeah, I like it. I fucking love it. I love just fucking going down there and just like smother myself. I fucking love it. And I didn't really notice that until I was older. Like the older I got, the more I'm like, dude, I will fucking you sit on my face fucking hour, please.
Good
It's
for
like
you.
warm and nice, and I don't know, man. I'm fucking crazy, I guess.
It's like a face hugger.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. All right. Appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you guys on locals here in a minute. We're gonna raid queso. Get the hell on it, doggone it. Thank you, everybody.
Love you guys.
Real quick. Swift kisses to these penises. Johan Noxos. Johan Noxos. Disco Cobra. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, of course, over on Rumble, my boys, Rakin and my boy Matt himself. These people keep us going. I'm forever grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget War Bastard. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Love you. See you guys Sunday, maybe. I will have a video too, but I will be racing in Virginia, Woodford, Virginia, Saturday.
Good luck. Don't get hurt.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna piss though, for sure. Bye, everybody.